invite.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, listen, don't be sorry. It's all right.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't.
live.
Oh, I saw that. I won't. Don't have a whole lot of time, but I don't want you to just go on until somebody else gets here. How
Oh,
you
thank
been?
you. How are you been?
Well, I've been pretty good. You had a real long live stream yesterday. I just caught a few minutes of it and realized it was over 3 hours long, and I had some other things to do.
Ah,
I don't know who all came on, but you guys must have had quite a conversation. I hope you
oh,
enjoyed it.
no, thank you. You know that it's, Steven's channel when he had that something jig about Kent Hova. It got
Oh,
taken down by YouTube or blocked.
is that what got him blocked or banned from the channel?
No, it happened yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, they had a entire thing dedicated to Kent, and uh, I looked up. I guess they blocked it or banned it. I guess I'm not sure. Took the video down. The channel's still up, but yeah, is that weird?
Well, I wonder if he took it down.
It said it was blocked by something.
Oh, well, maybe BBM or somebody will be able to come on and let you know what happened. Because I don't go to I don't even go to his channel anymore, or any of the other ones that are associated with it. Like Stump or Ryan or any of the ones that are associated with Stephen's ministry channel. I don't even look at it anymore.
Yeah,
So I have no idea. I do know that you had quite a long show yesterday. With I think when I hooked into it, Claude was there and BBM was there, and I don't know whether Deviant was there, but somebody else was there
yeah,
too.
he was there, and Mr. Logo was there.
Oh, I don't know who he is.
Uh, uh, he just not a good guy, and not a guy on here. So,
Oh, well, as long as he's a good guy.
uh,
Uh, I guess even the bad guys would be welcome on your program. It's just a matter of how long they'll last, right?
yeah. Oh, uh, uh, oh, Christian's having one tonight.
I'm going to set time aside. That's 6 o'clock my time. So I'm going to set time aside so that I can come in here and listen and maybe join. I've got some questions I need to ask Christian, and I probably need to write them down so that I can ask them.
Oh,
Uh,
uh, you seen the one show I had with Brian Newman?
that was not too long ago, wasn't it? I saw part of it, not all of it.
Yeah,
I didn't see the beginning. I've not had a chance to go back to it, but I think it was a pretty good one, was it not?
yeah. Well, yeah, you were on that show too.
Well, I think I came on later. He was just getting ready to leave, or he had just left, and I think I came on and they kind of talked about it. But I was listening for a while, and he and Deviant really got into some good conversation.
Yeah,
She's such a nice lady.
yes, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, uh, oh, did you see that other video I had with Sydney Lincoln on there?
No. Oh, I saw that she was on there. I did. I Logan, I'm sorry. I only catch part of them. I know she was on there. I know she was talking to Claude. Am I right? Is that the same one?
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think Cindy's doing real well. I really do. I think she's doing well. I'm glad your channel is doing real well.
oh, thank you.
It kind of gives you something extra to do. And you know what? You're pretty good at hosting these. And
Oh,
I
thank
noticed something because when you sent me the link, I went over to your channel first, and I noticed that now you're putting up some notifications and everything. So you're really kind of getting it, getting good with this, aren't you?
Yeah, oh, thank you.
and and that kind of helps because that way I know what time Christian will be there and so forth and I just think you're you're making progress on how all this works. I think that's amazing. It's going to
Oh,
be
thank you.
it's going to be interesting to watch and see what Jesus does with it and what direction he goes in the conversations because I've never seen any conversation that's ever been not a good one.
Uh, do you know that AJ called and Big Bad Mama did a video about Kent Saturday?
I heard about that, but I don't go to either one of those channels either. Uh, was it good? Tell me about it. Was it good?
Yeah, they did a response to Kent, what he said on there.
I saw that when I was looking for your live, your regular channel came up, and I had to go to live to see what you had going. But I saw you posted something about a debate. Is that the one they were talking about?
No, that's a different one. That one was Michael Jones versus Kent Hova. Oh,
Mhm.
Dustin!
Hello.
Hi, Dustin.
How's it going?
Good,
Ah,
how are
well,
you?
I'm glad you said that because I never look at my phone when we're talking. Dustin, that's so nice to talk to you.
How have you been?
Oh, I'm good. I just chilling at work.
Well, that show you was on the other night, it was, I looked at it, I think the, YouTube blocked it or took it down.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get blamed for that.
It was crazy. I don't get what happened. I think it might have been
Uh,
the Warner Brothers.
I don't know. They're becoming a target. That's all.
Oh, is it by the Overlords?
Possibly.
No.
Who are the overlords? I keep hearing Logan talk about that.
Well, see, like we've always had throughout history particular families that believe they have a right through their crest and lineage to rule over the masses.
Okay, that I get.
So, I mean, you could spend an entire lifetime trying to unravel the elaborate social network that has been brought about by the never ending cascade of women that are either scorned or extremely satisfied in their life.
So the men have nothing to do with it.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I did not say that.
Oh
I'm
no, no.
saying
That's why I
that
was asking.
no, what I am saying though is that if we were to ever try to get to the bottom of it, everything is so scrambled. There's no way to know who's who and what's what.
Uh,
And you have women to thank for that. Okay. Men have their own individual blames, but when it comes to sorting things out, women have elaborate social networks that know how to hide evidence very well.
oh, does that mean that that's something that women are good at?
I mean, good in a bad way, I suppose.
I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to be argumentative or trap you into anything. I'm just having conversation because I can agree with that because I think in fact I know there's a definite difference between a woman and a lady, and women have no place in any type of leadership role if possible. CEOs of
But
companies, that's a little different.
see see now you're overlooking some things though. Okay,
Okay.
just because a woman can't be in a leadership role when it comes to social or particular decisions being made does not mean that a woman is not as decisive or as cold or as machine like when it comes to things like assassinations. I would trust a woman's series and set of mechanical skills when it comes to an implied task such as that rather than a man because women's eyes are more keen, their hands are more steady, and in all reality who's going to suspect the butterfly?
I definitely understand. I really do get where you're going. Where I was going with this is that a lady is someone that is redeemed by the blood of the Lamb, and they know how to properly acquiesce to leadership. A woman will
Well,
just take over and take charge. And that doesn't mean females cannot be CEOs of companies and they can't do this. And I agree with you about being divisive. We had, the United States had a woman person that was running for the highest office. And I was so thankful she didn't get in because that is one divisive individual.
I think I
And I'm
remember who
and I'm
you're.
being and I'm being diplomatic.
I mean, all things considered, you gotta give a fair shot to all sides, I suppose.
I don't know. Dustin, I'm just glad that I'm not Jesus because if I, on Judgment Day, if I had to sort all this out, it sure probably would be sorted out different. And there would be a whole lot of sorting going on right now.
You know something? I don't think things are as bad as the modern orthodoxy would lead us to believe. I think mankind has been through periods of history that would make this period pale in comparison. I believe personally that this species has come to the brink of extinction on multiple events, and we pulled through it just fine. Um, I don't understand the angst, really. In all honesty, it's like ever since COVID hit, there's like a serious clock to have some kind of a result come about. And they're just like I keep trying to tell everybody over there at Proverbs, guys, they're not seeing the signs that they need to see for their prophecy to be coming true. It's just not happening for them.
I understand that. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by their prophecy, but there are a lot of people that there's just a lot of people that are self-proclaimed prophets these days that really don't understand the big picture. And I don't claim to understand all of it. I do know that in 2000, and I know it for a fact that in 2016 the United States itself was given a span of time to repent. I originally thought it was to repent, you know, everybody was going to fall on their faces like, like the days of Billy Sunday and stuff. And then he showed me it wasn't that way because when he shows me something, then he unfolds it a little bit by little bit by little bit. And he showed me it was to repent of the evil that we've allowed within our nation and our government. And then it got extended beyond that to the corruption that has penetrated even the what used to be the purest of apostolic doctrine, of Bible doctrine, that's basically and I'm saying apostolic meaning basically the same thing so that you understand that Christian Pike teaches. And we differ a lot on other things, but not the basic fundamentals. He and I. So I've seen it progressing, and now I see a lot of the body of Christ themselves, and their assemblies starting to turn back and pay attention to 1 Corinthians 14:7, I think it is. Uh, Is it first? No, I can't remember. It's 14:7. If my people who are called by my name, that's in the Old Testament. That's Chronicles 7:14. So, but what you're saying about what's going on, I get that. I wasn't quite sure what Logan was referencing by overlords, but Logan's so
Well, you
got
gotta
such a
understand.
mind he
You
could
gotta
be.
under. You gotta understand. Like whenever you see a model or a system that works, time and time again, it's usually brought back to an individual who has a family that spent a lot of time in the field.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, these people are considered masters. right? The real leaders are not the individuals that are quote unquote elected, or the king, even, for example. The king has to have certain people in place in order to have his position secure. So the reality is, whenever you're dealing with a system or an authority of power, there's a family behind it,
Mm-hmm.
always and forever, right? And whenever you see miniature design of the structure, then what you're dealing with is an incorporated family. And they've been doing that since the beginning of time. Marriage was even turned into a weapon based on that premise.
Oh, that's a new statement. I've not heard that before.
Well, think about it. Whenever you would have war ravaged lands, okay, the losing side usually ends up being conquered in conquest or concubine, correct?
Right.
Right? Well, there was an interesting problem with that because the local customs of the individuals who were conquering afforded rights to the individual who was considered a concubine. It may have been substandard rights, but it left the door open for over time to wedge greater rights in the future.
I can see that
That's
kind
what Well, that's what you see. I mean, that's what you see in America today. I mean, that's what you see all over the world. I mean, the problem with America is that we're over popularized by our media, right?
of. Oh, hey, there's something else you and I agree on. We're making progress. I say that I say that lightly about the one something else, but I agree with you completely on that.
Yep.
I think if people would quit listening to Main Street media and stay off of all of this. Oh well, it's on Facebook, so it's got to be right. Or I read it on YouTube, or I saw it on YouTube, or I read it on Google. Well, anybody can put anything up on Google. Even Wikipedia can be altered by people. So it's kind of like, where do we really find reality other than the scripture?
Uh, I mean, okay, let's say for example that scripture was to fall off the face of the earth today. Do you think
Okay.
the future generations would have a hard time meeting the conclusion that there is a God?
No, and when I say scripture, I'm referring to uh, there's a general way to put it, and I don't have the right word for it. Um, and I don't like to use the term God because there's so many of them, and to talk to an individual about the one that spoke this whole world into existence and say God, it puts him as like out there in this great big entity somewhere, and doesn't personalize it. And that's what Jesus came to do. So I don't know the correct term for it. I don't want to say religious things because there's too many generalities on that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I, I
Biblical
get that.
concept, God's a godly concept, a righteous God concept.
See, there's an issue with that because you're looking at the difference between culture and concept. Okay, because culture is not based on concept; it's the other way around.
That I understand. Part of my being able to communicate with your generation, and Dustin, you've got one of these absolutely brilliant minds, very much like Aiden's. You and Aiden have very similar intellects and thinking skills. Then you take somebody like me that's around 8 decades old, that's using old style terminology and old style ways of communicating with you young guys, and we don't. I've got to find the right terms in order to communicate with you, but I understand what it is you're saying mostly. Did I just lose you in that?
No, no, I got you. You
I
you
I,
have respect, huh?
I
I
figured.
think. Like,
Yes,
I sent that picture of the snapshot I took of it to you about what happened to that video.
buddy, I don't care. Okay,
Oh,
I don't care. Okay, and if it's getting to the point where they're having this much trouble, their problems have very little, if not nothing, to do with me. Okay,
oh,
like I've barely been on there in the last couple of weeks. So like they've had issues where they've had shows taken down in the past, right?
Dustin, what was
And
the subject matter yesterday? I didn't
Ken
even.
Oval.
yeah,
Oh,
Kent Hovind.
was it good, bad, or indifferent, or just in general? Do you, I'm just
Well,
curious.
I made the statement that I think everybody should have guns and enough ammunition to kill everyone 10 times over.
Only.
That they're gonna say that that's the reason, but I don't think it is because you see all kinds of gun talk on YouTube. No, they were promoting somebody that YouTube is not particularly fond of.
Well, and that could very well be. I do know that when I was down there, as far as talking about arsenals and accumulation of uh, what is needed to dispense those articles, and I'm being careful. Uh, that was being maximized. So I have no idea. That was in 20. And I remember conversations with one person where they were talking about they went to go buy a certain product and they bought all they could and they were told they couldn't more that type of thing. So, uh,
Well,
I have no idea what they're doing down there. And quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Well, it does, but it doesn't because there's people down there.
Oh, he's sick.
I,
Uh, wait.
I heard some noise. I don't know if Dustin's still there.
He's
I'm
still there,
here.
Dustin? Okay,
I'm
that's
here. I didn't go anywhere yet.
oh, that's good. Is it true that your alternate identity is Super Predator?
It is. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Seriously?
I have assumed that alternate identity.
uh,
So if I
oh,
see you show up anywhere with that name, if I see that name show up anywhere, I know it's you.
Uh no, if you're looking for my name, it's Dustin Buck. I don't go by pseudonyms, but I do have a channel that they're threatening to take away by the name of
why?
Buck Around and Find Out.
Why the?
It's just because I say things that nobody wants to hear, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
Well, that's the one that you just started not too long ago, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll start another one. It's no big deal.
he called Dusty Buck or Uncle Buck or Buckin.
Bucking.
Well, I know the play on words that you're using there, so I won't comment. How's that?
uh,
Uh, I think people have channels, and some people can get away with something, and other things people can't. And
well, they don't enforce their policies like they should, right? So they use the policies as a weapon to like discriminate against certain individuals that have wrong think, but then they'll turn around and use it as a cudgel to protect somebody who wants to teach little boys to put on makeup. I don't understand that. It
Oh,
doesn't make sense to me.
oh,
it's
the,
called political correctness.
Um, I got another word for it, but I'll
Well,
go
you
ahead and
Illuminati.
I'm sure you do, and I'm glad. And thank you for not using it.
Oh, Dustin, I want to ask him. Would you like to debate Big Bad Mama again?
well, yeah, I wouldn't mind having another discussion with him.
And yeah, about that. But I mean, what would you like to discuss about?
What was it? Uh, I think it was the chalk fields or whatever where they find all the bones. How they're claiming that these dinosaur bones were uh, turned into fossils over a great period of time. But if you look at the rate by which, quote unquote, the ground grows, it was like a millimeter per year. So it would take over, I don't know, 38 million years or something like that in order to cover an animal completely and have it buried enough to actually falsify.
Oh,
I have my notes still from the last conversation. That was one of the points I was going to bring up.
oh, oh. Would Would you ever like to debate him over Noah's Ark, over if Ron Riot found those stuff?
Not particularly. There's no changing his mind there. In all honesty, I don't have the grounds to try and defend Ron Wyatt on those principles because there's a lot of laws that he broke. I mean, I'm not condemning him for it. I honestly don't think those laws had any purpose in the first place, but he did stuff that he shouldn't have done.
Oh. Is he? Wow, 3 people. Yeah. Would you ever debate over did Noah's Ark happen?
I mean, again, I don't have any physical evidence that would back my claim. Right? I take those things on faith. I don't. I don't like. I mean, yeah, it does. It wouldn't make sense.
So
I mean, we
Justin,
could debate the merits of the we could debate the merits of the persistent tradition that passed down throughout multiple cultures and different spans of distance.
Oh,
But because it doesn't make sense that all these different cultures have the same essential like myths about it, and it's just some kind of a conspiracy somehow, or it was just a bunch of local floods. It doesn't make sense.
oh.
Justin, are you under the um, would it be positive for you in a conversation say that you recognize Noah's Ark and a flood, and was to you, if that's the case for you, would the flood have been localized as some say that it was over the known world, or would you agree more with what most people believe in the scripture that it was a global flood?
I'll answer your question very, very simply. I'll just put it this way. Go to your local geologist and ask them if there was any one landmass that wasn't under the ocean at one time. Go ahead and ask them that. They can't tell you that there was because they find uh uh what is it? They find crustaceans and whale carcasses up at the summit of Y2K and
And
Everest.
I've known that for years. You know,
So I mean,
I've been up
yeah,
in the. Go ahead.
just put quite simply, there's no one part of Earth that hasn't been fully submerged at one point, right? The difference is the argument between how long it was submerged and the scale, right? Like, I mean, I personally believe there was a global flood because I don't think that it makes sense that the earth goes back that far. It just doesn't make sense to me. But that's something I take on faith, right? And I have
Right.
scientific reasoning behind it, but it wouldn't be sufficient to convince somebody like Big Bad Mama who has years and years of indoctrination. It just wouldn't work.
Well, there is a scientific field because I've known other I mean, I know Big Bad Mama from YouTube, but I've actually known geologists. I mean, like sat down and talked to them, and they were like neighbors and so forth. And when they when they study, they're actually studying scientific fact. I mean, here it is, here it is, here it is. And if they don't have a concept as to, and we'll just use Bible meaning godly, if they don't have a concept as to a relationship with who Jesus is and the reality that there is a God, they look at just fact. And that's kind of where a lot of people are, because they have no clue as to what a lot of the things that you know and understand. And so, therefore, they're only thinking it from a logical book knowledge viewpoint. And until Jesus opens people's understanding, and I'm just talking in general about those type of people, until he opens their understanding, we can talk until we're blue in the face and say, here it is, here it is, here it is, and never be able to convince them. One of the things that the early church did, and when I talk about the early church, I'm talking about the ones maybe from the day Jesus was resurrected until maybe 400 years or even 500 years. I'm not that good in history to be able to go back and study it. One of the things that they did was they didn't pull out scripture and say, here it is, here it is, here's the Old Testament, here's where. Most of them didn't. Most of them were like the average everyday Joe that just goes to work and takes care of his family, and has never been to college, and back then they didn't even know how to read and write, most of them. And what they did was
Faithful,
they gave their testimony.
faithful.
Yeah.
What faithful? No, 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 no. I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh,
geologists do not just look at the facts. Okay, do me a favor and look up water witching and oil wells, and tell me that geologists just look at the facts and that there's no crossover between the mystic and the science arts.
well, I do know that there is such a thing. You're talking water witching where they use a divining rod, correct? To find water.
Yes, but that it's a thrive, not just water. They find oil,
I,
right? It's a thriving business today where you can't go and drill unless you have an official like water witching, because they still haven't found a resistivity technique that will give you the correct point to drill.
well, do they do now? See, I don't know that much about modern day science because I studied science way back before you ever were born. Not studied science, but went through science and so forth in school. So, as far as the general knowledge, so the specifics like that, I'm not familiar with. However, um, do they attribute that to something abnormal, or do we know that to be something other than fact and science? You and I do, but do
Well,
they? I mean, I don't
no,
know
see,
what that
that's the
is.
problem. See, therein lies the problem there. Okay, because when
Uh-huh.
they find something that works, they go ahead and they slap some kind of a rational explanation on it and claim that magic has no business here, right? Like they think that because they have some kind of a logical understanding of the phenomena, that they have some principle on the underlying cause, and they don't.
And
Okay, they really don't.
unless Jesus unless Jesus shows them something different, then they may never see that. That's what I'm trying to say. Unless their understanding to that is opened, they may not understand that themselves, and that's why
They're
they put
deceived.
logic to it.
No, 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 no. They're deceived. They're deceived by a family. Okay, right? Like, okay, do me a favor. Just look up a couple of things for me when you get a chance.
Okay,
Okay,
I will.
if you ever see like where sciences come from, right? The real science or like inventions, they come from affluent families. Okay, right? And the thing is that these affluent families have access to books of ancient knowledge. A lot of this ancient knowledge is unable to be translated. However, every once in a while, they break through on some new pictograph or something in some new discovery on some part of the earth that unlocks another part of the language, and they get some new technology. Okay, that's that.
Mhm.
Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, all these people, right, come from supposedly nothing to great affluence and power and fame. But the reality is, Albert Einstein wouldn't have gotten anywhere if it hadn't been for his family and the fact that he plagiarized a lot of his work from unsuspecting people at the patent office. That's the reality of it. Okay, right? And
I get it. You know,
the other,
you. you've done a lot
The
of
other end,
reading.
the other end of the equation is like you see most of these geniuses. They claim they'll outright tell you we had help from other places.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Mm,
I understand what you're saying. And one of these days when we're not live on something, there are some things that I might like to talk to you about, regarding stuff that is interestingly strange. And have you ever heard and reverse technology on something, and how we
Well,
came up
reverse
with cell phones,
technology.
and how we came up with cell phones
It,
and stuff.
well, cell phones. Okay, cell phones. Like the reality is that cell phones started with the precursor of the crystal cell radio. Okay, right? They would cut little wafers into the crystal that would vibrate at specific frequencies. That was um, the precursor. The cell phone's not necessarily reverse engineered. Do you know what is though? The
What is?
microprocessor. The microprocessor. That's what allowed, because like we've always had the ability to make these technologies. The flat screen TV is not new. The cell phone's not new. They've had patents on them forever. The problem was making it cost effective to where the masses can enjoy it.
Uh-huh. And you say that's where reverse technology came in. What reverse technology from where? I mean,
Well,
did they
that's
see? Now, here's what I'm asking. Is it possible that they have found something and studied it enough to where they could take that very, very advanced technology and reverse it down to where we could use it today?
yeah, yeah. The microprocessor is the perfect example of it. We didn't have a reliable way, right, to transmit electricity like we would turn water on and off. Okay, the transistor, that was the first prototype, right? It was reverse engineered. You do
And
not
what
come
do you
up
know what
with
year that was?
you, 19, oh no, it was 18, no, it was 19 something. I remember that it was a crystal with like a I kind of remember, but
Okay, well,
that's
that's
not
good
at the
enough.
forefront of my mind.
That's 100 years ago. That's not like 40 or 50 years ago. Okay.
No, it was a long time ago when they came up with the, because before they were using vacuum tubes. Okay, right? That's not necessarily something. How do I put that? I mean, if you look at the sudden jump in technology, okay, it's unexplained. The fact that computers double in computing power every year, that's unexplained. There's no explanation for it. They'd say, "Oh, it was some genius in a basement somewhere soldering parts together." That doesn't make sense, right? Let me see a
No.
genius do it today. Go ahead, give me a genius, give them the random parts, and let's see him assemble a working prototype in a lab somewhere. That's not how that
Yeah,
works. There's so many
but
people involved.
that's kind of like us evolving from an amoeba that they don't know where it came from.
it was super
No,
predator.
super predator.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. But what if they gave that to you, Dustin, and you did it? They say you're super
Well,
genius.
the only way I would be able to do it is if I had step-by-step instructions.
Oh,
That's the only way. I could do it if I had enough knowledge in the tools I was using, because I'm smart enough to understand that my precision isn't good enough to do a job like that. But my precision is good enough to make tools to make uh, instruments precise enough to make something of that caliber. But myself alone, my eye, my hand coordination, it wouldn't work.
oh. But Dustin,
I don't mean to interrupt, but fellas, I've got some things I have to do. Logan, thanks for letting me join in.
Well,
Dustin, talking to
thank
you,
you.
it's been amazing. I just got a text message that where I'm staying, people are going to be home, and there's some things that they need to do. They need me to do before they get there. But
Okay.
Okay.
it's been a pleasure
Thank you
talking to
for
both
coming
of
on.
you.
Thank you for coming on.
All
Have a
right,
good
and
day.
I'll try to catch the rest of the show later. And thanks for the conversation, Dustin and Logan. I appreciate both of you. I
Oh,
love you.
thank you. Love you. Justin. Uh,
What's up, buddy?
what do you think if they uh um do you think they have what if they found a giant skeleton that looks just like you?
Well, I would wonder how would a skeleton look like me? Skeletons don't have facial features.
I mean, shaped just like you, like look just like you if you were a skeleton.
I hope to never know what I look like as a skeleton, but
Oh,
I really do. I hope to never know that. I don't
uh,
know why. What do you? What?
I'm just
I'd
saying.
probably freak out. I guess.
Yeah. Steven said they found a giant finger of Noah's wife.
I mean, they found a bone, and it resembles the phalange, right? So it's not any other kind of animal. The bones that they look at,
What?
to a degree. Look, here's the thing. Okay, the reason that Ron Wyatt is such a controversial subject is because nobody's really disproven his claims. All they can say is that he has no merit or basis, but like there's like nobody's come up with a legitimate claim to him actually being a fraud, like something that he's done has been made up.
I don't think
Granted, his huh?
I don't think he's a fog.
But there's lots of people who do.
Oh, does he say hibbit? Hibbit? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that.
I don't believe he's Claude. So.
Oh, okay. Uh, do you think uh what do you do if you went there, you found uh
Went
um
where?
to Israel and found uh a giant a skeleton that looks just like Steven?
Do you know what?
Oh,
I'm kind of tired of this because the people who found the Dead Sea Scrolls, do you know
yeah.
how they found them? They threw a
Uh,
rock into a hole, and they found notoriety and instant fame. Ron
mm,
Wyatt spends his life looking for discoveries that verify the things in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and he's ridiculed and maligned. It doesn't make sense to me.
yeah.
It, it really doesn't. You can claim that he broke laws all you want, okay? That has nothing to do with his discoveries and whether or not they're legit.
Yeah. Oh, uh, do you still you're uh mm, uh oh, have you ever been to another country?
No, nope.
Me either, but see, probably about 2025, I'm going to be going to a different country,
Where are you
UK,
going? What are you going there for?
to visit my friend.
Huh? Have fun.
Oh, thank you.
Be careful not to get stabbed. That's
But don't worry,
what they do over there.
I could call on you, Super Predator, come save the day.
Nah, they'll stop me at the airport passports because I got weapons.
Oh, well, what if they found skeleton of the super predator.
I mean, they kind of did. They find dinosaurs all over the place. Like, you know what's odd to me? Okay, is dinosaurs have been around for millions of years before we ever got here, but none of them ever evolved into like a conversation having entity, right?
Yeah. Uh, in Mario, they did that Mario movie.
I loved that Mario movie, man, until I grew up and I realized that it actually sucked. But before it was
You're funny.
no, seriously, like it was a badass movie, and then I grew up. I was like, oh, the childhood nostalgia, man.
Oh, what if they found proof that dinosaurs evolved into humans?
What kind of proof would you find? See, that's the thing. Like, I would accept if they found like a T Rex and there was like a human body in there. That's proof, right? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, did you know that Brian Newman was on my other show?
Yeah, I don't like Brian Newman.
Oh, I
Brian,
thought
or, well,
Brian
huh?
Newman? You don't like Brian Newman? I thought you
Yeah,
liked
that
that.
was it. Amy Newman,
No, Brian Newman. Don't
Brian Newman.
remember the Dream Guy?
Oh, yeah, Brian. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
guy.
like Brian. Whatever happened to him?
He came on my show the other day. He said he'd been busy lately. I asked him why he
Huh.
haven't been on Steven's show. He says he's been uh, busy with work and stuff. Yeah, he was on the other day.
Yeah, I was busy the other day.
Yeah.
And besides that, I kind of thought you meant Amy Newman, so I wasn't really planning on showing up for that.
No, not Eamon Newman. Uh, that's is that Brett's friend? Eamon?
How should I know? I don't.
Oh,
I just remember her coming on to Steven's show, or him, I should say, on to Steven's show, and claiming that there was no God. Like I
oh
just
yeah,
wasn't in the mood for that.
yeah, yeah. This is Brian Newman, and before he got saved, he was Brian Oldman. See,
Yeah, that makes sense.
when he got saved, he became Brian Newman. That's just okay. Sorry. Oh,
You don't have to apologize. You're good.
oh,
Ugh.
Outcast talked about coming on. We have to get her.
Outcast, who's that?
Remember the Egyptian lady?
Oh, Outcast. Yeah, I like Outcast. Outcast was cool.
Yeah, she had to get her headset working, and she see about coming on. Yeah, if Brian was on here, what would you like to ask him about?
Um, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of questions for Brian.
Yeah,
Brian's a cool guy.
yeah, yeah. He's a likable character. I think he might come on tonight with Christian's show, Christian Pike.
Huh. I might
Yeah,
come on later
yeah,
if he's on.
yeah. He's talking about tonight. Show's going to be called "The Goodness of God." He talked about the love of God and stuff. Brother Pike.
Cool.
Yeah, you could come on and too if you want. Yeah, I I found a way to make it where I could set up a schedule for shows now, and I already have it scheduled. Yeah, is that crazy?
No, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, yeah. Just be careful who you let on your channel. That's all.
Yeah. What if I let Super Predator on?
Well, I don't know, man. YouTube and I don't get along too well. I don't like YouTube.
Oh. Is it because
Like I subscribe to them, but like I'm getting really sick and tired of the way they're doing their algorithm. They put a bunch of stuff up on my feed that I don't know why it's there, because I give them no indication that I want to see that stuff. But they keep putting it in my face, so I started making some ugly comments in hopes that YouTube would catch on. Like, if you don't want me to say these things, stop putting it in my face. How about that?
it's funny they recommend my own videos to me?
Yeah.
Here's a video you might like. Yeah, the video I just put up. It's not crazy.
Yeah. The way they do their shit is just retarded. It doesn't make sense. I mean, granted, they've been doing it a long time, but I think that there was a time that YouTube was way better than it is today.
Uh, uh, what do you do if you went to the North Pole and Santa Claus is there?
I'd talk to them about the couple of Christmases I didn't get anything.
Oh, but what if? Yeah, that it came from a real guy, Saint Nicholas. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. That's the thing, man, is like what you wound up with was a melded religion, right? Because of the council in Nicaea. The atheists do have an argument there, but I hardly ever hear him bring it up.
Brother Pike.
Pike, man. Waka 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 waka.
Brother Pike. Everyone loves Brother Pike.
Pike, man.
Well, yeah. Have you ever met that guy, Aaron Raw?
No, not personally.
His
I did message with him once.
What'd he
I
say?
think. Well, I don't know that it was him, but I asked him a couple of questions, and he kind of fluffed off the answers.
It's funny how Kit always is obsessed with his name, always call him Aaron Raw, the Sun God.
I think he calls him Mr. Nelson, which
Yeah.
I mean, I would subscribe to that if I ever got a chance to say it to his face. I wouldn't give a shit about his name or his perceived disrespect whenever somebody doesn't listen to him.
Yeah.
The dude's pompous.
Yeah, he loves to interrupt people while they're talking.
Well, he can't stand a narrative being set that he might feel like he has to go back and explain later.
Yeah. Aaron Raw. You ever heard of this guy named Matt Dillon?
Matt Dillahunty, yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Have you ever talked to him?
I've messaged at him. What's up, boss? Oh, I'm fine.
Oh. What'd he say? You there? There's Dustin.
Sorry, buddy. I had to talk to my boss real quick.
Oh, that's all right. Is it cold where you're at?
It's not warm. I'd say high 50s, low 60s, maybe.
Oh, wow. I think it's already snowed in Canada, where they say, "Hey."
It better be snowing in Canada. I'd be concerned if it wasn't.
What Brother Pog said.
What did he say?
He said, "Tell your boss that you need a safe space."
I need a safe space. No, I don't need a cry closet, okay? I was not born in that generation, thank you.
Brother Pog, he's funny.
Hey, looks aren't everything, though, okay?
Okay. But
Do.
it's so funny. But you said you study a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I study lots of stuff. Why? What's up? What do you need?
Oh, do you study about hmm, evolution?
Yeah, I read a lot of evolution articles, like, for example, how the cats just appear in the evolutionary chain without any, like, common ancestor to be considered a split from. Like the
Oh,
fact that duck-billed platypuses are the only mammals that lay eggs like they do, and there's no explanation for why the gene didn't split for a placenta. That
wow,
doesn't make sense. They
wow.
can't explain that one. There's all kinds of creatures that defy evolution, but they never bring them up.
The
And they never
super.
explain that, like, all of their bone evidence that they found for Lucy, they didn't find it articulated. It had to be put into a trunk, and you didn't. It's incomplete to this day.
I heard they said
So
they
all
found.
their evidence.
Yeah.
What's that?
I heard they found other apes like Lucy. What's it called? A Pithecus?
Yeah, Australopithecus or something to the effect. No, they found, like, supposedly they found the remnants of 300, right? And the evidence that they have fits in a trunk, right? They don't have anything articulated. Nothing's complete,
Oh,
right? They put fragments together, right? And then, like, they imagine. It's all imagination. I once saw a drawing of a specific species that never actually existed that they found from a tooth, right?
oh,
They imagined the face, the skeletal structure, everything, and then they just drew a whole person around it.
oh. Hi, Big Bad Mama.
Hi, everybody.
What's up, Big Bad Mama?
Not too much. How you doing?
I'm alive and well.
Good, good. What are you guys discussing?
All kinds of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, the floor is wide open.
Yeah. That show Dustin was on last night. Yeah, they took it down. I think because of the Warner Brother music.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you sent me a screenshot and it said Warner Brother, um, Warner something. But yeah, there was a song played probably or something.
Oh. Yeah, they probably still try to blame Dustin, right, Dust?
Well, it
They'll
wouldn't have
probably
said
blame
that.
me.
It wouldn't have had that Warner Brother um, acronym if it had been something else.
Oh, we think.
So it wasn't Dustin.
Yeah, I know, but that'll probably stop
That
Steven.
doesn't stop them from blaming me. I'm sure that'll happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, Big Bad Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy show last night. It was
Oh,
crazy.
the one on Steven's channel?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh. What happened?
Uh, they're on there talking about Kent's old videos, right? That right, Ayden? Not Dustin?
Dustin, yes, they had a couple of Kent seminars up, and they were discussing the science.
Or lack of science, right?
I guess depends on
I'm
how you
just
want to look
saying
at it,
that
I
to
suppose.
stir you up.
I mean, personally, I couldn't care less. Like, in all honesty, Kent Hovind gets under people's skin enough on his own. Like, he doesn't need me to get under people's skin, but it does bother me, the unmitigated attacks, right? The unrelentless mocking of someone that's really not trying to attack anyone.
Well, I mean, I've told you my perspective about it, where I think he is trying to do damage to people, especially children. And, um, you know, I just think that his message that he puts out every night about it being the tribulation and the rapture's coming within some years really turns people pessimistic, and maybe even leads people into depression. And why should I care about anything? Why should I care about saving the planet? I mean, people just give up. And, oh, the world's ending real soon. Why should I care what happens to the planet?
I don't.
And to me,
That's
that is a really negative.
that's a very succinct and well thought out objection. I find no issues with that, because in my personal purview, the world's not going to end anytime soon either.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Dustin. And what I think is, most of these people are still going on like they're planning for their future and everything, but at the same time, they have this thing in the back of their mind that their leader has told them that the world is ending. So they're kind of in this weird flux where, are we planning for our kids to become adults, or are we going to go have to live in a bunker somewhere? And so that's one of my big concerns with him. And of course, the other one is, as a geologist, I have issues with his teaching of pseudoscience, what I view as pseudoscience. I mean, uh, you know, creationists believe it, and that's their right to believe it. But to me, it's pseudoscience, and he's gearing it toward children. With having a dinosaur adventure land with with playgrounds and things that are geared toward a children's amusement park. So those are my two big. He's done other things that can be talked about, and people can argue that, but that's why I had been critical of him in the past and in the present. So just to explain it.
I find no issue with your premise about the individuals being in flux. As a matter of fact, I actually have to agree with you because of the mixed messaging that, we're here to preach the salvation of God. By the way, the world's ending.
Right.
um,
Right.
yeah, there are legitimate complaints against Kent Hovind, but the issue also is that because there are so many people hyper focused on getting him at any cost, that they come up with these outlandish claims, and the ones that are legitimate get drowned out.
Oh, Big Bad Mama. I always seen Dustin stand up against people saying the war is going to end. He always says, people been saying that a long time, like back in the one days when the big sickness hanged out, like what they call
The plague. The plague.
The
yeah,
plague.
people thought the world was
There's
going to
been
end then.
there's been near extinction at level events that have happened in mankind's history that makes everybody believe the world is going to end. It's been
That's
repeated
true.
over history time and time again. The thing about it that bothers me is the consistency and the repetition. Now, if there's no conspiracy to confuse people, why are the stories so similar throughout history? If there's nobody behind the scenes keeping score, so to speak, and writing a narrative for the next generation to have like a rule book to play by, then why the self consistency?
Can you elaborate? Because I'm not sure I understand.
Well, okay, not and the only way that I can elaborate is to explain it like this, okay? Whenever one person alleges a conspiracy, it opens the door for the conspiracy to swing both ways. So, for example, atheists accuse Christians of believing in a sky daddy that doesn't actually exist. The energy and sheer devotion that it would take for a group of people to propagate this worldwide just doesn't seem feasible, right? But for whatever reason, it's considered a conspiracy because what we claim to represent just can't be reality. The door. If you can say that I'm blustering some kind of conspiracy because you have the high ground based on principles of being right, but it turns out that in the end that you were actually wrong, then whose conspiracy was it?
That's true. I mean, do you believe there is a conspiracy of scientists, or maybe powers that are controlling scientists to?
I'll put it to you. I'll put it to you like this: a dentist doesn't tell you how to stay away from his office. Dentistry is considered a branch of science. So yes, I believe that there are some dentists out there that believe that their profession and their bottom line is more important than the truth, and 4 out of 5 dentists might recommend it.
But
So yeah, there's all kinds of conspiracies, man. But like any good conspiracy, the damage is only as serious as the accident that it causes.
But what about a conspiracy of scientists that believe in evolution, putting down creationism? It would have to be a worldwide conspiracy, and it would have to be in every university in the world. And it's kind of like
well, see, that's the thing.
Let me say one more thing. It's kind of like the flat earthers saying that there's this huge conspiracy of every space agency, everyone that works for the space agencies across the world, not just NASA, but it just doesn't seem. The logical thing is that the Earth is not flat, and that we actually have seen the Earth from space, and we have photos of it. So that's the way I view the evolution versus creationism in terms of the scientific view of it. Who do we got here? Deviant?
Hi,
Yay!
Deviant.
Hi, finally.
Hi.
Fucking
Ayden.
Oh no.
Hi,
Hey,
Ayden.
Big Bad Mama, I have to let you know that what you said about the Earth is not true. All right, you are trying to spread the misinformation to people, and I will not let it happen. All right, the Earth is very clearly
He
flat.
he
I'm a
started
mocker.
becoming Claude there at the
You're
end.
you're
I
a
went from
mocker. That's right. You're a mocker.
there we go. There's more Achilles there.
Dude, there's more. Dude, I'm telling you, man. The French and the Greek accent are more close together than you think. I think Achilles has got a fake Greek accent. I think he's just some guy in like West Tennessee. It's just got a voice filter on. Yeah. Prove to me that you aren't some guy in West Tennessee, Achilles. That's my challenge. Anyways, how's it going, guys?
How are you?
Good.
Guy in
I'm
West
okay.
Tennessee. What did you do? Did you reverse engineer his IP address or something? What's going on
That
here?
is right. That is right. I have many scientific degrees. No, Dustin, I have many scientific degrees. I will not tell you where I got them from. I will also conveniently not mention the fact that those people are all liars, even by my own narrative that I got it from. But yes, I've got scientific degrees, and I use this to trace his IP address. You can hear the siren
If it
now in
wasn't
the
so funny, I'd
background.
be
That is
mad
the
at you.
paddy wagon. That is the paddy wagon that is coming to take him away right now. You can hear it in the background. He's going to be taken to the arena and fed to lions for being a Christian. The persecutions are back now.
Ayden.
Yeah,
Brother
how's it
We
going?
Pike's having
backslid
a
into
show
Rome.
tonight.
What was that, Dustin?
We backslid into Rome. We're feeding Christians.
I mean,
to
no.
lions now.
People have asked me. People have asked me. They're like, Ayden, if you were the emperor of Rome, would you persecute Christians? Fuck no, I wouldn't. You guys love that shit. It's like your guys' favorite shit is when you guys get persecuted. So no, I wouldn't do that.
And that's
If anything, I'd do the exact opposite. I'd do the exact opposite. I'd be like, man, you Christians are so cool. You guys are so awesome. Why don't y'all tell us so much about your religion, guys? And they're like, wow, this sucks. I wish I was getting a spear shoved through me right now.
No, sound like Brad. Brother Pike's having a show tonight, and what do you think of that show they had last night? Did you saw the one with?
Well, let me just tell you something right now, Logan. All right, if they take this channel away from me, I'll go and I'll preach on every single street corner that there is. All right, every single street corner that there is to preach on, I'll be there. All right, so even if this channel gets censored again, Logan, I'll be there, buddy.
Yeah,
I did not see their show yesterday. No, I did not. Why? What was up?
They did a thing about Ken, I think, and
wow, they were talking about Ken Hovind. That's so surprising. That's so shocking.
And here's another show happened the day before that. Big Bad Mama, Claude, and Ayden. What?
Wasn't one of the things? Wait, so they were doing it on about Ken Hovind on the Steven show?
They did one on Ken Hope. Those guys did a show. Steven and Lupin did a show about Kent last night.
Oh, but was Sea Science there though, Logan? Was Sea Science there?
Yeah, right, Big Memo. Was he there?
Well, no, we did. Claude and I did a show with Atheist Junior, and Sea Science was in the chat.
Yeah, I put a comment on Missing Maud's video like a week ago because she was covering one of Kent's videos where he was like, it's a target-rich environment. There's so many celebrities out there that are racist. I want to debate one of them, Hugh Laurie. There's a good guy I could debate. And I commented on the video. I said Hugh Laurie would absolutely tear Kent Hovind apart in a debate. And Sea Science gets on and is like, oh, these absolute idiots like Ayden think that Hugh Laurie is actually a doctor just because he was portrayed as such on a show. And I was like, no. The reason why I laugh is because Hugh Laurie portraying a doctor on a TV show gives him 1,000 times more credibility to have the doctor title than Kent Hovind, who got it from a trailer. So I had a pretty good interaction with Sea Science earlier today. It was very fun. He deleted his comments.
What in the name of God is going on behind you?
Yeah,
I was wondering myself. I was thinking that you were butchering an average-aged man in the background. Something was going on there.
Okay.
Or kid.
Look.
Children, perhaps.
How about you just mind your own business, Dustin? How about you just sit there and mind your own business and let me do whatever I'm doing in peace? Am I telling you, what are you doing right now, Dustin? What's going on over there? No,
well, I'm currently working. It sounds like somebody's being butchered in the background. Like, what do you?
Yeah, it sounds like you're in the middle of a police event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just walking down the street. Seriously, what's happening? I don't. Is there a murder scene taking place? I just need to turn around.
You'll have to listen to the feedback, but somebody was using the F word and going off.
Yeah, I've got sirens in the background and nobody's yelling at me. Like, there's something going on where you're at.
There's the siren.
I was walking by, but that's not me. I'm not the one with the siren. I'm walking past a school zone, and I can't hear what they're saying because I have headphones on, so perhaps you heard something like over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one with
Luckily for me,
sirens in the
Ken Hovind,
background.
I can't be within 300 feet of a school. I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. That's just a joke.
Hey,
I was gonna
Dustin,
say, yeah.
you need to look at the Australopithecus skeleton called Littlefoot, because
I think
everybody uses Lucy to
remember.
try to say that those skeletons are faked, but that's a very complete skeleton of Littlefoot. So look, check out Littlefoot, and then on a future show we can chat about it.
I just want to go
I'll
back
do my
to.
research.
I just want to go back to Africa like 2.3 million years or however long ago it was that Lucy lived, and just be like, "Yeah, you're fake. You're not even real. You don't even exist."
Is Littlefoot any relations to Thunderfoot and Bigfoot?
Lucy would rip
What
you
was
That's
to
a
that?
new
shreds.
theory.
Thunderfoot is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He's so soft spoken though. Bigfoot would not be that soft spoken. Like, could you imagine? You're going through like Cascadian Midwest, right? You're going through the woods. You hear rumbling, and then you just hear some soft spoken. Oh, hello, chap. How's it going? That's not Bigfoot.
I mean, short of having your head busted in with a rock, that's the only thing I really know about Bigfoot.
I think that's what would happen if you went back in time and tried to say that Lucy was fake. I think that's the event that would directly proceed afterwards. You're fake. Bap, bap, bap. Oh no, Dustin's dead. All right, well. Back it up, boys.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a rock, though. It'd probably be a club, and the individual would be hanging from a tree.
It's actually the first ever club they made just to club you for saying what you did.
Right.
You pissed them off so much, you sparked a technological arm race, Dustin. Congratulations.
I can't be the reason somebody threw a rock at somebody else.
Well, they didn't throw it. That is an innovation that comes later. They're only on to bashing people with them right now, Dustin. Throwing the rock comes later in the tech tree.
Monkeys don't have the ability to throw stuff. That is true. Not like we do. They're way off.
I was about to say, I'm sure they can throw things, but yeah, you're right. They probably can't throw things accurately.
But they can throw poo.
Yeah, it's not because their arms are they're
they
not
can
calibrated
throw poo.
That
You're
way.
right, Logan.
They can fling poo.
You're right.
They can fling it like a frisbee, right?
I've seen them fling it pretty accurately, dude. I've seen them fling that. But I've quite literally seen them fling that shit pretty accurately.
Call me when they stand up and do a baseball pitch with it. That's when then I'll stand up and salute the monkey. Okay, or throw it like a football. Make a football out of poo and like run it in for a touchdown. Then I got something to look at.
Well, if you want to speed up their advancement a little bit, you just have Hammy throw the poop. Then you put a spear in his hand right after he threw the poop and be like, all right, throw it just like that poop. And there you go.
I don't know why this has never been tried before. Why don't we have monkey sports?
Monkey sports?
Why don't we have that? Why is that not a thing? We have dog fighting. Why not monkey sports? That doesn't make sense.
Because dog fighting is, Dustin, this is the thing, right? Like, you make me be at war with myself so often whenever I talk to you. Because on one hand, like, one part of me is like, that's cruel. That's horrible. You'd never want to subject a monkey to that. That's an animal with feelings. But then another part of my mind is like, yeah, but what would happen if a silverback gorilla ended up fighting like 3 chicks in a boxing ring? Like, that is something I have to think about now.
I mean, but I don't understand why that's never been attempted. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, you can literally teach a monkey martial arts. Why is there not monkey martial arts right now?
What do you think, Big Dan?
There'd be like a whole tournament system. They'd have to go through brackets and stuff. It'd be so great.
Dude, I'm telling you, we can make real money off of this. Joe Rogan be damned.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to go to somewhere like Senegal or the Congo and just like set up a highly illegal operation and live stream it.
I mean, it's not illegal if it's never been prosecuted.
That's true. There's no legal precedent towards this being done. That is not illegal.
Right? I mean, if we set up a trust in the monkey's name, what are they going to tell us? You can't do that.
You know, speaking of that, I just gotta ask, like, when Cain murdered Abel, he would have had a pretty valid argument going, yeah, but what's the precedent for murder, though, God? He'd just be like, oh, crap, you're right, all right, you've been forgiven. He could have gotten out of it.
I mean, technically you're right. I mean, yeah.
God would have released him on bail the next day.
So when are we doing this? Are we going to Africa or South America? What are we doing here? We're going to do like 10 macaques versus 1 chimpanzee?
Are you going to
What if it gets
God,
popular enough, though? What if it gets enough views, though, that, like, they change the laws just to accommodate it? They're like, all right, this is so cool, we gotta have this in Chicago.
I'm telling you, man, we can make some real money off of this idea. We just got to get a bunch of monkeys together.
Yeah, we're gonna make money, but what's our legacy? What's our legacy going to be? I'm sure P.T. Barnum made a lot of money too, Dustin. I'm sure he cleaned up quite readily as well, but what's his legacy?
I don't know. Fit for children the world over.
Oh yeah, they'll put that on PBS Kids right away, I'm sure. All right,
Hey, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for crying out loud. I mean, for crying out loud. They can do it, but I can't.
That's right. Well, that show has pizza, and you have not bribed a single government official with pizza, so... Maybe, you know what? Maybe that's what it would have taken. Like, if I was on the nuclear sub during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and, like, the Soviet political officer and the commander of the sub were both like, we need to launch the missile, Vladimir. They have made an attack. And the one guy was like, no, I will not launch it. I just come over with, like, a large pizza. Will this change your mind?
This Outcast love that,
That
right?
is a
This Outcast-
dark
All right,
premise.
now that you mention it.
Miss Outcast,
It's such a
would you like
dark
that?
premise.
What?
Get his hair.
If you were the only person left between like utter nuclear annihilation of the world, and you're really hungry, like you've been in a submarine for like 3 days straight, you've been eating nothing but gross submarine, not only submarine food, but Soviet submarine food
Yeah.
for 3
Oh,
days,
dear God.
and you're offered a large pizza. Would you push the button?
Wait,
God would.
push the button? If I were in a If I were in a submarine after
Yes.
nuclear annihilation?
Yes. No. This is before nuclear annihilation. Like, we're sitting in the harbor of Cuba right now.
Okay.
There's the American fleet right over there.
Okay.
2 of the 3 officers on the submarine are like, we need to launch the nuke.
Yeah.
And you're the only one that hasn't agreed. And some time traveler comes to you with, like, a large pizza. Are you pushing the button?
Why does a time traveler come back with pizza to initiate the war? Why wouldn't it be the other way around? I don't understand.
Because Dustin, how many movies are there where like there's like we need to go back in time and stop Hitler. We need to go back in time and stop. No, this time someone needs to go back and cause trouble, not prevent it.
Dear God, dude. I mean, the protagonist is the hero in this case. What are you doing? What's going on here? You're flipping all kinds of paradigms.
Dustin, I haven't been in this community for like 2 weeks, so my brain is just kind of emptying all the backlog of stuff I would have talked about, just kind of all at once.
Copy that. I'm starting to put the math together now, okay? Because you're definitely going from one complete and or mostly formed thought to the next. And I've been in that situation. So
I've been quiet for too long, man. If you kept your mouth shut for 2 weeks straight, I'm sure you'd have a lot to say when you opened it.
Yeah,
Pretty
I can
good.
attest to that. I fully attest to that.
Why do I feel like that's my version of hell? My version of hell is like being chained in a room, and it's not just regular Dustin. It's Dustin after having not talked for like a month straight, just unloading every single thought he has in his head. I'm not able to comment on any of it or refute any of it or anything like that. I'm just bound and gagged to a chair and just subjected to that for all eternity.
And you have to watch Ken Hole's videos.
18.7 million years later. Well, Ayden, if you look at the other side of the equation, and I'm just like, please, dear God, make it stop, please. Yeah.
I don't
it's a
say
whole
that
thing.
that often, okay? Right? Like you latched onto that.
I
Like,
know.
I have other catchphrases.
I have that with everybody, though.
What are you two screaming about?
Oh my goodness, the bus! The bus! Wait!
Oh no.
Oh, you missed your boss?
No.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's the Max Yellow. It's not even the Max Teal. I just sprinted for the wrong bus.
Sorry about that.
You went to the Moose Express?
You should be, Logan.
Where's your moose
I
at?
blame
You should
you
be riding a
personally.
moose right now and drinking maple
I
syrup.
mean, well, you don't realize the bus is actually pulled by a team of moose.
okay, that makes sense. Moose power. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess who's here? Claude.
Hello.
Oh, great. How's it going, Claude?
Is this the Cloud Bells?
Good. I'm pleased to see everybody here. It's good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were having a show today, so that's a surprise. A good surprise.
Oh, thank you.
Claude, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So the Proverbs guy says that they're blessed by God every time they get a whole bunch of views on their shorts.
Yeah.
Your shorts have gotten a lot of views lately, so
Well, yes.
I'm just wondering, did you make a phone call or something like that to the great beyond? And...
Well, maybe there is a God and he is favoring, or she is favoring me. For all we know.
That would be great if we just start with that. We just start with that narrative. Well, maybe there is a God and he's just on our side on this. That would be a great heel turn for the interactions in this community.
Yes.
I couldn't do it though because it wouldn't be my genuine position.
No.
That's a shame. These dang principles always get in the way.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
Well,
I know. It's like, and it's just like, where do those principles come from? Surely they have to come from a magical man.
you?
Well,
Me specifically, yes.
Oh, okay.
I just think people can see through, and I have more people sending me videos every day and suggestions. And, the latest one is where Hovind claims to have gone to the Ukraine or Soviet Union and they shut down 30 30 professors came to hear him and one of them cried and all this.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't remember the name of the city or the university. Seems like a major omission, a memory loss.
Wow, he changed the lives of several people, and he's just like, well, that whole city, I'm starting to remember the name of it.
Was that on Mr. Mod channel?
People can see through that so much. It's so funny.
It'd be like it's like those hucksters in medieval Europe that claimed that they went on crusade and then just like collected a bunch of money from people that were like, oh, he's a crusading veteran. Meanwhile, he hadn't left his home village in his attack. They're like, wow, what city did you end up taking on the crusade? Oh, well, it was a major event in my life, and oh man, really changed everything about my whole perspective. I just can't think of the city name though. Oh man.
Claude, was that Mr. Mod show? She put up video?
I can't remember if it was that or Proverbs guy or the Lupin show. I can't remember where it came from, but it was an older clip that had been replayed. Yes.
I remember. I think might have been Mr. Mod because I remember watching one of her videos when he said that.
Oh well, yes, yeah. So,
Well,
which
that
is
She
might.
said
fine.
that she's gonna try to be here. By the way, Logan, she's gonna
Oh,
try to come on the show. So
okay.
Oh, good.
yeah, it'll be good to see her. She hasn't, to my knowledge, she hasn't been on one of these in a little bit. So that's
No,
cool.
you've
She
been
had
away too. Yeah.
Yeah, I took a bit of a break.
she had a video the other day.
What was that?
She did had a video the other day. A little test run.
Oh yeah. Honestly, the last thing I'd really seen of hers that she's done recently was that stream she did on Big Bad Mama and Claude.
Oh,
Is that still up? I don't think that's still up there anymore. I think she removed that.
We don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, it ebbs and it flows, you know. Such is life sometimes. C'est la vie. C'est la vie.
yeah. Dustin.
I did
Oh, go ahead.
enjoy
Yep.
the debate the other day when Dustin, I think you used the word dick, and then someone came in to say that wasn't acceptable, but ass or butthead, they were okay. I thought that was very funny. But not
I've got a question for you, Dustin, because I saw that clip earlier today, and I really am genuinely curious. Do you feel condescended to when
A
Steven
little
tells you,
bit.
you know in your heart, Dustin, you know in your heart, deep down inside, that I'm actually right about this and you're actually wrong? I mean, like, that is just, to me, that is dripping with condescension. Just, I know that you're, like, basically an intellectual, Matt, and you don't know anything about anything, but, you know, I'm just willing in my infinite grace and wisdom to extend a small amount of my knowledge and give it to you so you're not quite as much of a knuckle-dragging
Says
troglodyte. I hope you're
from the
grateful,
guy
Dustin.
who doesn't even know the Bible. He doesn't even understand the meaning of Jesus, not Jesus, Peter swore that he was not, that he did not know Jesus. He didn't swear like, fuck you, motherfucker. He swore an oath.
I think Dustin
And
knows
yet
way
he,
more than Steven does.
Well,
sorry?
I
not when
think
it comes to the Bible. Okay, like I have to admit a weakness when it comes to the Bible. I'm learning. I've been reading. I've been studying. I've been trying to do better. Okay, and I
I
think I
didn't say
actually have
you.
made leaps.
I didn't say you
No, I
didn't.
know. I'm not
I
saying
said
you did. I'm
good,
not saying that you said that. I'm saying that Steven
good.
said that. Steven has made that
Yeah,
accusation to
I
me
mean,
a couple of times.
he has, and I'm not even trying to say that to you to try and get you in trouble or anything, Dustin. I just, when I look at something like that, I can't help but think like you deserve better in that context. I'm sorry. I know that kind of sounds like I'm some sort of like jealous ex or something, but you do. You deserve better than somebody saying, "Oh, well, you know deep down that I'm actually right about this." That's the laziest argument that you can make. Because it's not actually an argument. It's basically just gaslighting and saying, "Well, you know deep down that you're wrong." Obviously, he doesn't. Who holds a position that they know deep down isn't actually the truth? Like, that's just a ridiculous position to take, but it's an easy crutch to use when you just want to try and bully somebody into thinking a different way.
Well, to be honest with you, I'd be worried if Steven and I thought exactly alike. Okay, any healthy relationship in any context, whether it be a friendship or a situationship, has a certain level of give and chase. Okay, there's
Of
times
course.
when I have to take my hat off to Steven when it comes to knowledge in certain things, and there's times when I lay out a logical argument with common sense and deliberate speaking and with deliberate use of vernacular expression, and there's give and take there. Like I don't know everything, but I do read things, and I tend to retain a lot of what I read. So uh, when it comes
No,
to
I hear
Steven
you
though,
there.
like when it comes to Steven though, we're friends. Like, and that's what should actually
Well,
matter.
it's
Like,
it's it's
but
not even disagreement, right? Like it's not even the disagreement itself that I'm really necessarily mentioning, because of course you're going to have disagreements. Everybody that's friends are going to have disagreements. It's the way that he does it with you is really off-putting, because like I said, it comes across as
I am
very
way more mean
condescending.
to him, and you know it. I am so much more mean to him, and you know it. You
I
know
mean,
it.
you're mean
I
in a
am way more
Dustin Buck
mean to him.
kind of way, though. You're mean in a Dustin Buck kind of way that is ultimately, at least to me, incredibly charming and redeemable. Like, unless you're going off on somebody that just overtly doesn't deserve it. Like, I still think you did that to Logan, but that's a different topic. But like, when you get fired up about something, I find it to personally be charming and endearing because I can tell you're passionate about it. I'm not like the thing that rubs off way worse to me is, like I said, when someone condescends to you, because it comes across as incredibly arrogant. And I feel like just getting passionate about something versus looking down your nose at somebody have very different connotations.
I'm gonna say this, okay, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for it later, but Steven reminds me of an only child. I believe that he is. I don't know that to be a fact, but um, he doesn't have the obligation of looking after someone younger than him. So he feigns these attempts, and he just barely misses the mark. I don't think it's intentional. When you say condescend, I think he's trying to. I do understand what you're saying. I have had to set that boundary, but in all honesty, I do think he's trying to help. I believe deep down inside that he has the best of intentions, and that's a rare and hard thing to find.
Well, my response to that, Dustin, is deep down in your heart that what I'm saying is right. Come on, Dustin, just really think about it.
Oh my god, dude! I had to put up with torture from everybody. That just happens to be one of his. He is completely socially inept. He has no idea what he's doing when it comes to social interactions. But damn it, I love the guy.
Oh, he's got a charm to him. I'm not gonna deny that. I mean, like, I'm not just here to sit here and talk bad about the guy. He's got like a. I want to ruffle my hand in his hair and go, "Oh, you lovable little scamp! Oh man, you think like he's got a charm to him. He really does." And I mean, it's why anytime that we talk about like anything besides religion, we tend to get along pretty well. I find it funny. Steven, he said to me one day, he was like, "Ayden, why are you so incredibly charming on one hand and just an absolutely horrible person on the other?" I ask myself that exact same question every single day, buddy, Steven. Don't worry.
You just put on a Steven suit like a glove. You're getting way too close with with those impressions, bro. I'm starting to wonder, do you have multiple personality up in there? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, have you ever seen me and Steven in the same room, Dustin? That's all I'm going to say.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't? I mean, maybe I'm just using the voice changer, Dustin. You don't know.
That's possible. That is possible.
It'd be so great. It'd be so great if like 2 or 3 of the people in this community were actually all just one person putting on airs or something like that. That'd be such a great revelation.
I have had my suspicion because there is information that I have been privy to that should not have made it to you. There's no way. There's no way you should be knowing about a lot of the conversations that you do know.
Dustin, I've got connections. I've told you, Dustin. I've got connections.
Yeah, I think you're revealing sources right now, not connections. Methods and sources.
Yeah, you're right. I'm actually stumped. You're right. I just got to admit it. All right, I'm stumping the earth. I've got to say my apology. I got to start my apology with this. All right, if I sin.
Oh God! Don't do that.
And Mark me and acquitted me.
You are such a dick. You are such a dick.
I just want to have a beer with him so bad. Dustin, I just want to have a beer with him so badly. I really do. I just want to sit down with him, and he probably doesn't drink. But you know what? I'll have a sweet tea with him. All right. I know that. I know Stump is a sweet tea drinking kind of guy. He's a
Carnal,
sweet tea guy. I
carnal
know that.
mind, carnal mind.
The caramel mind. That's right. There's. I'm gonna have some caramel in my tea. Then it can be the caramel tea. No, but I would love it to just have a conversation with him about literally anything besides religion. But I feel like he doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to humanize me. It's just far easier to envision me as this out and out horrible person. And he's listened to me on so many occasions. He listens to these streams. He's talked about it over and over again, how he listens to the streams. It's like, just come on, dude. We're not going to bite.
Are you sure?
You know, I'm not going to rip your head off. You know, it depends on what day it is. But if it's not Tuesday, all right, we can have a perfectly civil conversation.
What if we bite someone and they turn into Ayden How at the Moon?
What?
Logan, I told you to keep that info off the show.
Oh, sorry.
What?
We
Are
can
you
keep
a
that on.
rabid, moon howling man at night? Is that? Does your woman have to wonder about where you
Dustin?
are?
Logan, this is why I told you not to talk about this, okay? This is why I told you to keep this under wraps, because now Dustin's going to be on me about this the entire time. Like, every conversation I'm going to have with him now, it's just going to be like, are you this feral beast that just has no control over his faculties once the moon comes out? That's going to be part of every conversation now, Logan. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're
How did you use the exact words I was going to say?
He can read your mind and soul.
I think Dustin is actually beginning to get suspicious that I can read his mind.
I am, dude. No, that's pretty spot on. That sounds about to my vernacular. That's creepy.
Thank you. So I was just thanking the bus driver, you know, because we out here in Canada actually have manners. In America, it'd be like, yeah, I guess I won't shoot him. I guess I won't shoot the bus driver. That's pretty polite. That's American politeness right there. I guess I won't just take his life.
Man, are you complaining about your moose being in the shop and that you're out of maple syrup already? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I am,
right
all right? Okay, look, I don't have any more maple syrup to lubricate my moose, all right?
We think, God.
Oh my God, this is very interesting. You know, I had a bit of. I can only think of Stephen. You know, when he is lying in the bed and the girlfriend, of course, is a virgin. No hanky panky, no hanky panky before the marriage, but he can't have a cold shower. You know, I would need a cold shower. So I imagine what he does. He thinks of Stump in the Earth program show, and immediately he comes back to Earth again. So.
Oh no!
Instead of a cold shower.
Why would you? Holy shit, Dustin! You're saying that shit was no, that's Haggard right there. Steven's like, oh my God, I'm just gonna use this Stump to be like, no, I better not. I better keep myself.
It does no good remaining silent. If you're gonna speak my words for me, stop doing that. I am going to kick you in the nuts. One night you're going to be howling at the moon, okay? You're not going to see it coming. You're not going to see me leaving. You're just going to have major freaking foot in the nut.
Perhaps Stephen
just make me think of Stump and my nuts will hurt just as much.
It's the equivalent of being kicked in the nuts is to listen to the Stump show when you are wanting to have it off with your girlfriend.
Oh no! Here, Ayden.
Can I get a word in edgewise?
Steven, I know you're listening. I know you're listening at some point, Steven, and I'm sorry. It's just really funny.
Can I get a word in edgewise here?
ST Demon's here.
Oh my gosh, the ST Demon! Yes, please, Lieutenant. Speak your mind.
The carnal mind will be the destruction of mankind. And if I sin, thou markest me. I would like to read from the Necronomicon, please.
I'm going to kick you in your nuts, Ryan.
I learned of the names and properties of all the demons, devils, fiends, and monsters listed herein in this book of the Black Earth. I learned of the powers of the astral gods and how to summon their aid in times of need. I learned too of the frightful beings who dwell beyond the astral spirits, who guard the entrance to the temple of the lost, of the ancient of days, the ancient of the ancient ones, whose names I cannot write here. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Oh no, you scared Ayden away.
Ayden left? He probably lost signal.
Yeah, he'll be back. Oh,
I
there
can read from the
Oh
much
my.
better book.
It was too powerful. I couldn't. I got disconnected. I couldn't hear all of it. It was right. It was right when he said whose names. I kid you not. He said whose names, and it just cut the stream. It was like you can't notice Ayden. It gets censored. It's like that. It's like the different color bars on the screen when the signal gets cut. Technical difficulties. Yep. Dang Canadian government. Oh my gosh. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Dustin, don't make elevator music on Stump Show or you're going to get banned. You're going to get banned.
You started
You're going to
it.
get banned.
You started it. You started it.
All it took, the last time I was on Stump Show, all it took for him to ban me was just going, and he's like, I kid you not, that's all I needed to do. And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He kicks me off and he's like, I'm sorry, but this guy over here, he's clearly got no respect for anything whatsoever. And then I just come back on a different account and go, I wish I did that now. I really do. Really do. I need to start making alternate accounts. I'm just too lazy, but I really should just start making alt accounts. Really put the fear of God into them every single time a new face pops up in the StreamYard. Is it going to be Ayden? Oh, I don't know. That'd be great.
If you're gonna do it right. You gotta make an email account with every new account.
I know, because you'll see that it's my email that's attached to it, and then he'll know that it's me, and it won't work. Yeah, you're right. I will have to make a new, but I do now. I really want to do that. So he'll be like Brett Keen's show. He like vets them in the private chat before he lets them on the show. I want that to happen. I want him to second guess every person that comes on.
Oh, I made Brett King Jabba the Hutt.
So you just got a picture of Brett Keen.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's all it is. That's right. You really don't have to change anything about it. He already talks like Jabba. Like literally, listen to Brett Keen talk, and he has that like rumbling undertone. He's got, "Oh, go talk about the situation. Oh, about the Jahibu solo. That's Brett.
Yeah, Mr.
Jabba no Bada.
Maca no cheeso situation.
Dude, you are so hacked. Were you picked on as a kid or something? How are you so good at this? I don't understand.
Dude, I was a class clown. I was a class clown. I started at a young age. I've been refining my routine for quite some time. I quite literally had a comedy number where I would get on the steps. This is like first grade, keep in mind. But we had like the thing of steps, and I would literally get on the steps, and I would do a routine to an audience of like 20 or 30 kids, and the teacher literally made me stop. They're like, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, Mrs. Outcast gave me the idea.
I could imagine like the teacher in the corner throwing maple syrup on you. The power of Christ compels you. Freaking calling in the moose. Get him out of here.
And Bret Hart.
Oh.
Anyone there? Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Miss Outcast, you were the one gave me the idea for that. Was a good idea. You there?
I'm here. I don't know where everybody else went.
Yes, we're still here.
Oh God, have you ever been on Brett King's show?
No, I think I'm banned even before I go on.
Yeah, he said he never heard of
Well,
you.
you are pretty infamous, Claude, man. It seems like you're well known.
Yes, so he's pre-banned me.
You have that video put up, Brett, of Michael Jones versus Kent Holbein? Yeah, that was on this other guy's Modern Debate. His name is James. He's very what they call fair. The
Who?
the whole
What?
show.
Who?
That show where
Who is it?
James on Modern Debate. I think his name's James.
On Modern
He,
Debate. That guy, you
yeah.
really think he's fair? I don't think
I
he's
don't know.
fair. I think he shows his bias a lot.
Oh yeah, well I think your head is stinky, Dustin. So that's my opinion on whatever you're talking about.
How do you know these things? How do you know these things? I have to know. How do you know the odor of my head right now? I have to know. The equation is incomplete. It doesn't make sense.
Hey there?
Yeah, he roboted out. I don't know.
Did you say Mr. Mod coming on here? He disappeared. No, he's back again.
Yeah, my internet's
Decisions bugging me.
My internet's kind of Christianing out right now.
Should I stay or should I go now? If I stay, there will be Ayden. If he goes, there will be Naden.
If I go, there will be Stump. So you have to let me know.
How is your internet evolving? No kid always says.
My internet's evolving. My internet's currently a transitional fossil right now.
He died
That's really
out
what
again.
it.
Transitional fossil.
No, I did not die out again. I'm fine. Just as good as I always was. Oh wait, there comes the asteroid.
That's not rain.
We could really use another one of those right now. Like I know hot take and all that, but like we could really use another one of those right about now.
Where would you target it?
The asteroid?
Where would you target it?
I would target it right at what's the target that would cause the most chaos in the world? Probably Jerusalem, because it's a holy site for all three of the Abrahamic religions. They'd be like, oh my god, the new Jerusalem's gonna get destroyed. No! It'd be pretty cool.
You know, I'm really mounting in suspicion against you, Ayden. I think you're a closeted psychopath. I really do. I'm starting to put the pieces together, thinking
Dustin,
back.
Let me ask you. What site would you choose that could cause more chaos than Jerusalem? It's not even because, like, I'm fine with Jerusalem as a place. It's a nice city. It's got nice stuff. I'd want to go visit it myself. Looks like a nice city. A lot of cool holy sites. But the chaos that would erupt. The utter chaos.
The North Pole?
The utter chaos that would come from that would be truly fantastic.
No, because, like... But the utter chaos would be nothing if you hit it right dead smack of the North Pole and you shoved off like ice shelves in every direction.
Yeah, if you hit Antarctica or the North Pole, that would be pretty devastating. That would be
devastation, and there'd be nothing left. There'd be nothing left. The ice sheets pushing off into the ocean would cause a global wave. There'd be nothing left.
I actually agree with you. You know what? Jerusalem is too merciful because then some people get to be instantly wiped out. Like, they get to be incinerated when the asteroid touches down. That's not good enough. You're right. It needs to hit a remote place that won't kill anybody directly, But it will kill everyone with all like the tidal waves and shit that come from it. Yeah, I like your thinking, Dustin.
Yeah, he's gonna be the
I
most
mean,
crazy
you asked the
looking, like,
question. What?
I
remember?
mean, Ayden's out here trying to talk about how he's a good person, trying to talk about, oh, I'm an atheist, but I'm a good. But then he was on the live stream talking with Dustin all about how if an asteroid hit the Earth, how many people would be killed. I don't know, man. You got to look at something like that, and you got to go like, is that person really as good as they say they are? I don't know.
I was.
It's
Tell me that's not what he would say. Tell me that's
funny.
not word for
It's
word,
funny how
verbatim what he would say.
you more to the point. It would be really, really close. I don't know verbatim, but it'd be really close. But the thing that I find funny is that you turn him into a Spanish Texan. Like halfway through, he goes from a Spaniard to a Spanish Texan. Like I'm like, ooh.
Well, I just gotta say, I'm on my way over. I'm on my way down to Mardi Gras, right? And I just gotta say, Mardi Gras folks are looking pretty good over there, down up in the bayou. I mean, I'm just going over down here having some shrimping in the bayou, going down there and having some po' boys up in here. I gotta tell you what, man, doesn't that po' boy over there down at the bayou, that'd be the best dang po' boy I ever had in my life.
Boomhauer.
Oh, well, man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna have man, some bit, man. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think, Claude?
About what? I'm lost.
Me too.
I was gonna say,
He's
what if
been waiting for an opening to say something. Like he just doesn't know what to say.
he's like Christian when we were talking about weed. He's just like, I have no idea what to do here. I don't know how I'm supposed to contribute. Oh, come on, Christian. You were a pothead. We all know it. Christian Nelson. That's your real last name. It's not Pike. Your real last name is Nelson, and we all know it.
I mean, God did say that He gave us all the herbs of the earth for consumption. So if
That
we
is
were
true.
to take
I
some
genuinely.
herb and we were to
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
make some brownies, I wonder how much of an objection He would have to taking it. Because that would be my objection. I would be like, look, man, look, this is what He said. It says it right here. All the herbs of the earth are for consumption. Like, what's the argument? I'm confused.
Well, yeah, if you eat it, you don't even have the argument, well, you're smoking it, you're not eating it. Yeah, you literally are just ingesting it at that point. I've never understood, like, there's no scripture in the Bible, to my knowledge, against smoking marijuana. I literally do not know of a single, like, I know that there's scriptures about not getting intoxicated to excess, but you could just smoke a little bit of weed the same way that you can drink a little bit of alcohol and not get absolutely obliviatedly drunk. Like, you can consume it in moderation. I don't see how it's, prohibited.
Oh, well, even Jesus drank wine, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, not only did he drink wine, but he provided wine to a whole party full of people. So it's pretty clear.
Coven claims it was grape juice. Coven claims it was grape juice in one of his complete.
Does he actually? He actually claims it was grape juice?
Yes, and it was different.
Yeah, because he doesn't know shit.
He just anything. He is desperate to make sure that that his God didn't actually drink alcohol. But of course,
he doesn't even understand why people drank alcohol back in the day, because he doesn't know
because
shit.
Water had dysentery.
Yeah, well, just because there's impurities in the water. Jesus made the water perfectly fine. You're going to tell me that he walked on water and he made the wine in the water, but he wasn't able to disinfect the water? Come on, you're being a moron.
Yes, because he forgot to tell people not to crap in the water, and once they learned that, then it was okay to drink it for a while.
Yeah,
they would shit in the same water and then never drink. Pretty stupid.
He forgot to tell them that the same way that he forgot to tell them that the Earth is round, and that there isn't a firmament of water above us, and he neglected to mention a couple of things.
You mean it isn't flat? Oh my goodness! I've got a telescope, a little telescope.
I have a. Oh, you say it is little. My telescope is much bigger than yours, Claude. I will compare my telescope with you. It is much bigger. It is much broader. There's much more
We're
girth.
going. We're
15
going with
feet.
something as phallic as a freaking telescope. You really had to go there. Come on, bro. Come
My
on. You're better than
I am
that.
saying that my telescope is bigger than Claude's. I never said anything about the phalluses, alright? Maybe your mind is broader, but mine is not.
Oh, Ayden, remember XO?
Maybe you have been. I think Dustin has been infected by the sexually transmitted demon. I think he has it like I used to have it
No.
at one point.
Ayden, remember XO?
I wanna ask Achilles if I ever see him again. Like when he had that sexually transmitted demon, did it ever tell him about the carnal mind being the destruction of all mankind?
Probably did. Oh, Ayden.
I know. You know what?
Oh,
You know what? He's gonna hear the stream and he's gonna be like, "Oh, they are just mockers." It's like, have you ever stopped for a moment to consider that your idea is worthy of mockery, though? Like, have you ever just stopped and considered that maybe it's worth mocking because it's ridiculous on the face of it?
oh, Ayden. Remember that guy XO?
Oh, I remember the XO. Yeah, I remember that guy.
He's the guy. When you're trying to talk, he won't allow you to talk. He was. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was on Brett's show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Brett actually muted him at one point, didn't he? That was it's pretty. You know, it's getting pretty bad when Brett meets a creationist on his show, and he's like, "You gotta keep it down in such a way." You know, it's bad when it gets to that point.
I like to see him on Steven's show with Achilles. That'd be
I
good.
wish he'd be a permanent host. I really do. Like genuinely, I would love it so much if Brett was like, you know what, Steven, I think I'm gonna be a host on the Proverbs guy such a way. But he would never do that because then Steven would have authority over Brett, and
No, I
Brett would
mean,
literally rather keel over and die than have Steven have any authority over him.
no, XO. I like to see him on there with Achilles.
Oh, yeah, the X that'd be good. That'd be good. I would
You ever
love to
heard of
see
him,
that.
Justin? XO.
Yeah. He hasn't been around in a while, has he? He just kind of checked out of the community.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while. That was so crazy that.
Maybe he got raptured.
What do you think, Justin?
Ayden.
See?
Ayden. Seriously,
Yes.
you should check into your government's nearest intelligence agency and look into being a profiler. Okay? You're too good. You're too good to ignore it. I bet you could track people down, right? Like I can disappear, but I would have to make sure that you were dead first.
I'd find you.
because somehow
No,
you.
I'd find
Yeah, I'm thoroughly convinced now that you would think like I would think, and then go the direction I would go. Like that's too. You
would be
definitely need to be an
in like
FBI profiler, dude.
you would be in like a train station bathroom in like Mezhgianorsk, northern Siberia in Russia, and you'd be like, "Oh man, I finally got away," and then I'd step in right behind you into the next cubicle, and I'd be like, "Nostrovia, comrade," and then I don't even know what you would do afterward.
Or he will kick you.
Like Pepe Le Pew, like that lady trying to get away from that skunk. Like you just keep popping up everywhere.
But the thing is like I pop up in subtle ways. Like I don't directly confront you. You see me on like a barge that's on the other side of the river, and I just subtly wave to you or something. Like just really disconcerting shit.
I mean, you'd see me
That's
swim
what like
off. I'm that kind of I'm that kind of an escape artist, dude. I would just dive into the water. Fuck you, I'm gone.
you.
Fuck my
I don't
bug out
doubt
bag.
that.
I don't need money.
But
I don't need money. I know how
that's
to
what
survive.
makes
You gotta come find me in a bush somewhere.
That's what makes tracking you down interesting, though, Dustin, because it wouldn't be fun if you were just like, oh, I'm going to wait until the next ferry stop to get off this boat. You're like, fuck that shit, I'm jumping in the water. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I'm
you
out later.
I think the only reason why they get upset at my impressions is because they hit a little too close to home. Maybe I think they might hit a little bit too close to the mark when
Dude,
it comes to the whole profiling thing.
people
It's
don't
not
mock
even.
and shame you for the things that you're bad at. You generally mock and shame you for your talents.
That's true. That's true. That's true. No, I I actually found out recently that Hitler was actually an impressionist. And I think that's the strongest argument I've ever seen about why I should stop doing impressions. The fact that Hitler was an impressionist. And actually, according to some sources, did a pretty good Charlie Chaplin, which is hilarious considering that's where he got the mustache from, was
Uh,
Charlie Chaplin.
Are you sure they didn't
Absolutely.
talk about his art?
Absolutely. Yes. How do you know that? How do you know that?
I know everything.
Man. Dude, but
I know
actually
everything.
never mind. Never mind.
I just want to hear. I want to hear Hitler's Charlie Chaplin impression. I really do. And the fact that it never got recorded in any way, shape, or form is just a little bit of a historical tragedy. Like, we've got burning of the Library of Alexandria, and then right below that, we've got the lost Hitler Charlie Chaplin impression as far as impacts on the society. I'm sure Deviant would just go like, "Oh, well, the Library of Alexandria was built by the Ptolemies anyway, so fuck it. I'm glad it's burnt down."
I'm not. I mean,
Dude, you need to be a
You're the one that
profiler.
lit it on fire.
It's still
I'm
easy.
writing
You're the one that burnt it.
a recommendation.
And
I'm writing a
it's
recommendation to trust Justin Trudeau as we're talking right now. Ayden needs to be a profiler.
I'd just like to let everybody know and the Canadian people that Ayden Linden is going to be stepping up and is going to be the latest Canadian national profiler. God, I hate how much he does that. You're literally the leader of our country, and you stumble and mumble more than some of the. Like, I've seen people in my professional speaking private group when I was in the Air Cadets. I saw people that were more articulate than this guy, and he's in charge of the country. Holy shit. Holy shit. At least he can actually spell his name. I don't know if Joe Biden could do the same, honestly.
Oh, he definitely can't spell it. We don't even know who he is sometimes.
Do you know the thing about Justin Trudeau, though, is he kind of looks like Castro Fidel. Have you ever taken a side-by-side and looked at it?
I've seen the Fidel Castro, yeah. I've seen the side-by-side with Trudeau, and I mean, it would be pretty cool, not gonna lie. He has a way cooler dad if his dad is Fidel Castro, like Pierre Trudeau. What a fucking limp-wristed, not fucking numpty retard. Holy crap. Pierre Trudeau would be a horrible dad. Oh, my dad could literally just be some nobody peanut farming piece of garbage, or he could be the communist dictator of Cuba. Like, which would you rather as a dad?
You.
Well, me personally,
I am your dad, Logan.
Anything known as a... No,
I just
I'm good.
I just put a penny on the track of Dustin's mind, and I just saw the train skip the penny and go careening off of the track. Oh no, it's crashing into the wall! It's piling up! Oh no!
The whole train of thought is derailed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was
it's folding in on itself. Oh no!
I'm dealing with the aftermath. Give me a minute.
Would you ever like to check?
Oh no! Now it's catching fire! Oh no!
Well, that train was already on fire. I don't know if that was any much of an yeah, the train was already on fire.
Having a bit too much fun. A bit too much fun with this. Oh, redeemed and saved. Hello. Are you there, redeemed and saved?
Are you guys?
I'm good, thank
you. Can you
you.
hear me?
Are you in? I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Deviant, are you pulling a Father Charles?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Speaking of Father
I'm
Charles, how is
reading.
he
Can you
doing? Has
hear
anybody
me?
heard from him?
I
No.
haven't
I'm gonna
talked to
give him
him
a
in
call
well
today
over
if
a month.
nobody's heard from him.
I've tried giving him
How
a call,
about you?
Dustin, and his phone number is disconnected.
What?
He might have
Yeah, I
gone
tried
Man,
calling
like
him.
I hope. Look, can I ask you guys a question? Okay, like I've had my suspicions for a while now, and I think it's about time I come out with it. Does he strike you as a heroin user?
No,
No.
not to me.
He nods
No.
off he nods off a suspiciously lot. Okay, like I've been
He's
worried about
old.
the
Yeah,
man.
He's in his
but he is
60s.
he's 259
I
years old.
Yeah, like
I
America
hope he's
is younger
okay.
as a country than Father
Yeah.
Charles is as a person. Let me tell you guys, alright, I was there on the USS Constitution when it took fire by the British forces at the Battle of Bunker Hill, and I'm just gotta say, honestly, that when it came to that, I saw Stephen Bolin was in the ranks of one of the Confederate armies firing at the Union troops. And I must say, he was exceptionally good at trying to defend the institution of slavery. So, hats off to you, Stephen. You tried to prevent that 13th Amendment as hard as you could, buddy.
Oh dear God, that's not what that was about, and you know it.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't about that at all. It wasn't about the mounting tension of the Mason-Dixie line issue not being properly resolved. Yeah, it wasn't that at all. It's not like McKinley kicked the can
No, it
down the
was
road for Lincoln to have to deal with.
the whole undertones of that was under property rights, though. Okay, and what we were dealing with was a constitutional and definitional issue between
Property rights, right? And what were
rights and states'
slaves,
rights.
Dustin? And what were slaves, Dustin?
That's not the issue.
They were
That's not the issue
property.
because the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment didn't alleviate that, though, did it?
No, I agree, but
It
that's
merely
because
sits in
Lincoln died. That's because Lincoln died and Andrew
Oh,
Jackson
give
did
me
an
that. Don't give
absolutely
me that.
terrible job. No, that's true. I'm sorry, Dustin, but it's just true. If Lincoln had survived and wasn't assassinated, Reconstruction would have went 1,000 times better. It just would have. I'm not saying it would have been perfect.
Speculation on your. That's
You know,
speculation.
Yeah, I'm not.
can I ask
There
you
was
guys a
forces
question?
clearly.
Wait. Let Redeemed say something. They've been quiet the whole time.
I stopped. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get a show on Proverbs Guys channel called You're All Going to Hell, and I wanted to know if from people that have been on that channel how I should go about getting a show.
Oh, I know how. Okay, so you know those morals and those scruples that you have, right? Throw those away. Put them in the trash. You don't need those. Okay? So
Don't.
what you do need
It will only be
is
an
you
impediment.
need to be able to
Are you a blasphemer?
you need
No.
Oh, he's a
yes,
mocker.
I'm a horrible blasphemer. No, Deviant Outcast is actually very pious woman. So I won't tolerate
You like fries?
any
I'm
language
trying to get
being
a
used
hold of
against her.
Achilles.
Oh, okay. Achilles would be.
He's my favorite Christian.
Yeah, he fell off the
He's
edge of
really
the earth the
intelligent.
other day, but I think he'll be okay.
He's just in the void.
He's dangling underneath. He's hanging like a
I
rope
heard he dangles
out
underneath too.
over the edge.
He said I could have my
Wow,
own show.
you know what, guys? Wow, yeah, you guys, redeemed and saved, trying to ask legitimate questions in here, and you guys are like, "Oh, he just fell off the edge of the earth." Stop being a mocker, all right, and try to actually answer their questions. Okay, this is a serious
Kind
panel.
of hard when you're interrupting.
Is there anyone here that's not a blasphemer?
I'm not a blasphemer.
Okay, maybe
I
you
am
can
the
tell me
worst,
about
according
Stephen
to
Bolin
Achilles.
then.
I am the
Yeah?
worst. Achilles says I'm the worst and I'm banned from everything. And then they say, oh, Claude is
What do
too
you need to
chicken to
know
come on
about
the
him?
show, from which he is banned.
Now Claude's busting Claude's balls. Leave Claude's balls alone, Claude.
Redeemed and saved. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really am. You tried to step into church and you accidentally went over to the next door and you went into the broth. I'm sorry. I want to go onto a channel that actually has good, wholesome, biblical, godly content. I would honestly recommend Father Charles Official. He's a really good YouTube channel. He's got some really good content on there. So
But I
yeah,
think
I'd recommend him.
Stump is so charismatic.
Who?
Oh, I know,
Stump in
right?
the early,
He is.
he's got
No, the
so
fact that
much
you can't understand
charisma.
a
I
third of
can't
what.
contain myself sometimes.
Oh,
And that Achilles, boy,
getting a little
he
excited.
really
Well,
gets me
I mean,
going.
There's a
No
lot
one
of
can
crosstalk
help me.
going on.
But
yeah.
I would like to know. I would like to ask
he
you.
gets. I mean, hey man, if he gets in jogging, more power to you.
Redeemed and saved.
Noggin
Go ahead,
jogging.
Deviant.
Yes.
I have a question. You said something about what's the word? Blasphemers. What makes for a blasphemer? What is?
Are you a God-hating atheist too?
No, I don't hate God at all.
Well, I just am looking for people like me because I want to be in an echo chamber.
Yeah, that's of course, I get that.
I think I'm
My
in the
question
wrong
was,
room here
my
because it
question
seems
was,
like these are just atheists, and
my
I've never
quest-
known an atheist before.
of course
Well, they're
not.
God
Well, I'm not
haters.
an atheist.
I
But
just
the
got to tell you
question
first
was,
and foremost that they're God
who?
haters. But go ahead, Deviant.
What do you mean by blasphemer?
Well, talking smack about God.
But that's what?
I mean, doesn't Paul
That's
say in the book of Corinthians that in order to be a blasphemer you must first believe, because the unbelieving heart cannot give itself unto righteousness?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never
blaspheming
read the
is like
Bible.
blaspheming.
Start
Seriously.
there and work your way
Sideways.
So I need to read the Bible first. You're
Leave it to the
recommending before I get
archaeologist. Here's point
before
one.
I
No,
get
don't
a
read. If you
show.
want to be a Christian, if you want to keep being a Christian, redeemed and saved, don't read the Bible. That's the last
Yeah.
piece of evidence I would have for you.
True.
Do not read
I
the
can
Bible if you want to keep
recommend
being a Christian.
I can recommend Dr. Hoven's books. It's a good one to raise children with. And because most people, we don't talk of smack about God, we talk smack about Oven. So read his books or videos for a good start. I recommend Danny the Dinosaur.
Okay, I was raised on DVD number 5, and when I would talk back, my father would hit me with it.
That's good.
With a DVD.
Did you enjoy it?
That must have
With a
been
DVD,
very
have you ever been
interesting.
hit with a DVD case in the head?
No, I'm
Oh
I'm too
yes, many
old.
times. My
I'm too
sister
old.
was
We
was
had
an
these
expert at
huge
cleaning those
round,
things like they were
tapes,
ninja stars.
like reels.
Deviant
Well,
Outcast got
whenever I
hit with a
asked
lot of
about
vinyl
evolution,
records.
my father would hit me with DVD
What?
number 5.
I said you got hit by mainly vinyl records. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
Deviant Outcast. Let's be
Right.
real. That was so rude. I'm sorry. That was so mean.
But thank you. I will go ahead and read the Bible first.
Okay, don't do that. Please don't
Right.
do that. If you want, especially don't read any of the contradictions, like the hundreds of contradictions that are in there. It's not really. Kent Hovind is all that you need in order to be a proper Christian, because really, are Kent and God two separate entities?
No.
Like, are they? I don't think they are, personally.
Not according to Achilles.
Yeah, so
Right.
I think you should just keep insulated. Don't ever come back here if you want to keep being a Christian. I just want you just keep yourself nice
Well,
and
thank you
insulated.
very much.
Very dismissive. Don't ever come.
What do you mean? I'm not dismissive. I was the only one that took redeemed and saved plight seriously out of everyone in this room.
Yes,
Everyone else was
yes.
like, "Oh, let's just mock them."
I did not.
I
was
felt very
Yeah, I'm
unwelcome
with
when I first got
to be
here.
honest.
Well, you
yeah,
should
I'm
be
with
unwelcome,
Outcast
redeemed
on
and
this
saved.
one.
Get out of here. Get
I'm
out of
with
here, redeemed and
Outcast on
I'm
this
saved.
trying to get a new show on Proverbs, guys.
Well, how about you take that Bible and how about you go give it over to somebody who actually cares? Christ tard, go somewhere else. That's what I think. I'm gonna kick some sand in your face if you don't get out. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I showed them what's what. There's some of that horrible atheistic suppression that C Science was talking about. I suppressed Deviant really bad, or not Deviant. Well, said the quiet part loud. Whoopsie daisies. I suppressed Redeemed and Saved pretty good there.
Ayden,
I mean, Deviant is Swedish.
do we
You
need to have a
probably would
talk about
enjoy
this?
yourself.
Dustin,
What?
thin ice, buddy.
You
Thin
said
ice.
it. You said it. I'm
Thin
just being
ice.
honest. Like,
Claude, do you have any plans on putting out a live stream? Because those seem to be getting pretty popular as well.
Yeah. Well, are you there, Claude? Oh no, he's
Yes, I am. Hello, yes. Did you know that Kent Odin is a bad person? Let me tell you, for the 12,832nd time, why Kent Odin is a bad person. Oh, yes, may we?
Ayden, I'm gonna have to say this, buddy. I think our best content between the two of us is when we were at odds.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just.
I think some of my
I'm just
favorite
gonna have to-
arguments I've ever had in this community were with you.
I'm gonna have to put it that way, man. Because like there are times I get in arguments with people, and it's kind of like Joker missing the Batman. Like I make trouble, he shows up. He's not gonna show this time.
I've thought about doing a pretty similar tactic with you and provoking you into an argument, but I haven't done it yet. I haven't quite got. The thing I like about arguing with you, Dustin, is that you're unpredictable. Like, you're not totally unpredictable. I can see some of the broader strokes of where you're going, but you're not like Achilles, where I basically know everything that you're going to say before it comes out of your mouth. Like, you're actually exciting to engage with.
It's because he have a
as far as an argument is concerned.
Achilles. Does
Because
he
I'll
have
come
a
at
heel?
you with a sidewinder you're not expecting.
Achilles does have a heel. That's correct, Gangster Ghost. His Achilles heel is the sexually transmitted demon. That's his Achilles heel. I've never seen.
That
I've
well
never
never
seen.
dries up, does it, man? That well just never dries.
They are the ones that provide the content, man. They're the ones that keep giving us stuff
You're just
to riff off of.
their hairy lips.
You know what? The next one we should do the real. Steven was talking about how you're not allowed to say the word dick, but he's talking about the F word on one of his streams. I mean, like, come on, man.
Everybody makes mistakes.
on,
I'm
Steve.
way more foul mouthed than he is. I just don't understand. I mean, because like there's a certain point where he's not preaching anymore. Now he's just enforcing, right? Like it's not for him to step over that boundary from like priest and policeman. It's just,
Well,
I mean, he doesn't.
he tries to act like
recognize when he's doing it.
He tries to act like his channel is everyone's channel and that it's God's channel, but that's not true. I'm sorry, but it's very overtly his channel, and you can tell that it's his channel when he does go around. And like when I went on Ryan's show, I was going to go on Ryan's show and just talk with Ryan because I like Ryan as a person. Wasn't even going to mention any drama, wasn't going to mention any issues, was just going to go on and shoot the crap with Ryan for a little bit. And I got let in for like 2 seconds and then got booted. And Steven said in the chat, Ayden's not allowed on any of the shows on this channel, Ryan. It's like, oh yeah, but it's his show, right?
As a result of that, channels like Gangster Ghost, my channel, Big Bad Mama's channel are all growing, and his is shrinking. Like
It's pretty stagnant.
Oh yeah, I remember that, Aiden. I left that episode because of that.
Oh right. Yeah, I remember you left, and he tried saying that I made you leave. I never even told you to leave or anything like that. I don't think I've made. Correct me if I'm wrong, Logan, but I don't think I've ever told you like leave that show, join that show, do this, do that. I kind of leave it up to you in every instance, to my recollection.
Yeah.
And that's because I have respect for you, because I view you as a human being and not a dispenser of a dispenser of either conflict or support for me, like Steven views you. Like that, he was talking. Big Bad Mama mentioned it, and I'm kind of frustrated I wasn't on the stream because of it. But yeah, like when Steven talked about you on his show, Logan, he was like, "Oh yeah, Logan he was pretty good back in the day. You know, he would tell people about my show, and he would come on. He'd always be the first on the show, and he never actually mentioned anything about your personality. He never mentioned anything about you, Logan, as a person. He just mentioned how you brought him benefits and how you materially benefited him. And I think that's a good example of his mentality. Like, I'm sorry, you can view it as draconian as you want, but I don't think he exclusively views people as like how can they benefit me? But I think that does take precedent over them as people.
You know, and this isn't a dig at Steven for when he's listening to this later, but I believe he's pointed out well more of my faults than my qualities. And many times he's done it in socially awkward and very provocative ways. Like I've resorted to calling him in the show a sidecar instigator for a very particular reason.
Did he yell at
Right?
you?
Like
Say, it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible, bro. I mean, come on. It's in English, it's in Hebrew, it's in Greek,
no,
it's in every
that
single one of them.
That argument, there was a reason he was freaking out with that argument, because he knew what I was accusing him of. He knew exactly where I was going with that argument, and that's why he shut me down. But that's neither here nor there. It's not important anymore. The bigger picture. Look, the man is my friend, right? Like,
No, I know.
No, not a
And
single,
you're a good friend
not a single
to him.
one of you, not a single one of you guys are perfect. Not one. Okay,
Oh, God, no.
so and neither am I, for that matter. But I at least call myself out for my own faults.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't know if you realize this about me, Dustin, but I'm a kind of verbose person. Like,
Yes.
I know it may be hard to believe, but every once in a while I just go on really long tirades, and it just kind of sometimes doesn't
What?
even have anything to do with what's being talked about.
Really?
I know. It's really, and sometimes I get
My
really,
goodness.
I get really frustrated and angry and arrogant towards people, and I just rub people off the wrong way because I get a bad impression of them. No, I know I've got faults.
Okay.
I'm very impatient. I'm a very impatient person. I need something to be done right away, or otherwise I'm going to make sure you know that I want it done right away, kind of thing. I've definitely got issues, but yeah, you're right. It's about recognizing those issues and trying to do your best to actually work on them. And
See,
I just feel like,
okay, can I cut you off right there? Okay, here's
go ahead.
Here's the thing that sticks out in my mind. Okay, and this pertains to you and Steven. All right, you know the kind of person that you need to be in order for Steven to tolerate you and to be in a personal place that he likes to call his but everyone's. Yet you do not, in your mind, at the end of the day, deem it necessary to expend the extra mental energy it would take to obey those rules. Now, I understand that premise and that picture, but the other end of the equation is that if you already know this, why is it still an issue that you have to harp on and pretend like it's a target that you can just keep lobbing missiles at. I don't understand like the other end of the equation here where you are obsessed. I mean, it's getting to the point where, I mean, what's, you guys are friends, right? Or at least you were.
Oh yeah, I would say there was definitely a point where we could consider that to be the case. I mean, like I was never extremely close with the guy or anything, but I mean, as far as that's concerned, isn't friendship a matter of compromise though? Dustin, would you not agree that it's a give and
I
take? You were
absolutely
talking
agree.
about it earlier that it
And
was a give and take.
you deemed it not necessary to expend that energy.
Well, I'm not
I
going to
don't
give if
understand your
I'm not going
justification.
I'm not going to give if the dynamic of the friendship is nothing but take, Dustin. And that's what it is with him. He wants to be exactly who he is and do nothing to change in any way, shape, or form, or adapt in any way, shape, or
But
form. And he wants me to be a completely different person.
Okay, I get that. But I mean, if you know that he's not going to change for you wanting to change, then what's the point
Then
in
how is
not?
me changing going to do anything?
Because
How is that going to actually
no, I'm
move
not asking
anything
you to
forward?
change. I'm not trying to get you to change anything. I'm trying to get you to explain to me the value or the return on investment for the energy you're putting into the mockery. I get the laughter, right? But the
Oh,
material
enjoyment.
after a certain point.
150%.
Oh, really?
It's just blithe enjoyment.
I
I
really
mean,
hope
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
get
lie to
that.
you. I'm not gonna bullcrap you, Dustin. It makes me laugh. It's funny. I consider it funny. To my knowledge, other people in this group consider it funny. And if they don't anymore, I'm more than happy to stop. I'll just do it on my own time. But I find it amusing.
I think
You
it's
can
fun.
do it
This
on
is
mine
my
anytime.
friend.
You can do it
Pride is
on.
not the word I'm looking for.
Oh my God, a singer.
You're funny.
Well, I'm glad I got a platform. I'm glad I've still got a platform on the Claude Balls channel.
Oh, Ayden, I think you're funny.
You think
Ayden?
I'm funny?
Yeah.
What was it? What was it I said that
Oh,
I was funny, huh? Do you think I'm a fucking clown? Do I amuse you, Logan, huh?
don't go all Al
You,
Pacino on us now.
That's Joe Pesci, but okay.
Same difference in my mind.
I look Claude's laughter in the background. It's not often that you hear Claude laugh, so it feels very earned when you do hear him laugh.
Ayden, you're always welcome if you want to ever have a special show you want to talk about something. You're always welcome to
Well,
have it.
according to Dustin, my next show is going to be the 24-hour Steven show. I'm just going to be talking about Steven and everything there is to do with Steven and how Steven's a
Or I
stupid,
didn't go that
stinky,
far.
nasty fart head, and how I think that his stupid, nasty, stinky fart head is misshapen. That's going to be what it's about for 24 hours. I'm going to go over charts. I'm going to go
I
over
mean, I
aerodynamic graphs.
I feel like you're searching for something to say. Like you have some kind of a statement you're concocting in the back of your mind. It's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't come up with the words for it. And
Oh,
once you state this thing, it's gonna make you feel better, and you're just gonna drop this whole thing.
I mean, you may be right. I'm not excluding that as a possibility. I guess you know what I said earlier about just getting enjoyment out of it. Upon more thinking about it, it's not just that. There is another aspect to it. There's another element. It's good to hold these people to account. It's very satisfying to hold somebody to account, and call them on their crap when they're demonstrated to be full of crap. And I find being that little sentinel in the community, or one of them, certainly not the best. I'd say Claude is the best sentinel of this community, but being one of them that is a voice and holding somebody to account, I take I take satisfaction from that.
Well, I mean, You are my friend, and I had to know this about you before I made you my friend. I just hope you never have a reason to hold a grudge against me, because it sounds like you're holding on to the grudge just to hold on to the grudge. And that's just like drinking, like
Um,
drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, bro. Like
I mean, holding on
it
to
is
it
what it
though.
is.
I mean, I took a break and didn't really worry about any of this because ultimately the actual amount of space this takes up in my head is pretty minimal. I'm not saying it's nothing. There's definitely a part of my mind that does focus on this, but basically once the show is over and the camera's off, I go back to living my normal regular life and my priorities go right back to spending time with my fiance or working or volunteering or any one of the other things I do in my personal life. This is just a fun hobby,
I tell you
honestly. I
what,
mean, it takes up my mind the same way
I
like
tell you
having a stamp collection takes up someone's mind. Go ahead.
here, I tell you what. I'm gonna go kidnap Proverbs guy, right? I'm gonna bound and gag him. I'm gonna tie him up to a bed. I'm gonna hoist him up vertically. I'm gonna give you
Oh
an
god.
array of weapons made from styrofoam, right? And you're gonna take it out on him until we can put this thing to rest. All right? Like, you need to burn the man in effigy. I don't know what it is. Okay? You and Claude. Like, it just seems like we need to have a deep therapeutic enema and just get rid of all this shit.
I mean, it's like what I said though. Like maybe Claude, maybe I mean for Kent, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but the impression I get from Claude is for when it comes to Kent, the ratio of enjoyment versus holding to account is basically flipped. For Claude, it's like 80% taking satisfaction and holding Kent to account, and 20% immensely enjoying poking fun at him and mocking him in every opportunity that he can. It's basically the opposite of my priorities, but they are ultimately the
Fine then.
same
You know what I'll do? I'll
priorities.
kidnap freaking Kent Hovind too. I'll put him in a cage and I'll put him like with a machine that stabs him like every 10 minutes for like the next, I don't know, how long would satisfy his
it's,
slate? A week?
it's like the
A month? A
Mortys.
year?
It's,
What are we talking
it's
about
like
here?
the It's like the Mortys on top of the. They try to shield the one Rick and the. Have you ever watched Rick and Morty, Dustin, or am I just speaking gibberish to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've watched Rick and Morty. Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
exactly
it's
what
like
I'm referring to. Just
the giant sphere of Mortys that get their sides stabbed. Yeah, yeah. Have one of those
All,
machines.
all Owen has to do
plus
to
every
stop
10
me.
seconds it stabs your balls.
Oh
All,
no!
Not
all Owen has to do to stop my interest in him is just stop making up these claims and exaggerations and start treating women well and as volunteers well. And that would be different because I'm friends with many people who are Christians, but they're a very different kind of Christian to Kent. But yes, it's enjoyable and it's also a chance to try and win people over to rational, clear thinking. That's what's motivating me. A bit of both, you know. I do enjoy it more
Claude,
because, yes.
Claude, I offered you stabbing of the balls and torture for a year, and you're holding out for him to just keep his mouth shut. Man, I'm sorry. There's no negotiating with you beyond this point. It's just it's you're obsessed, right? This is beyond clinical, and I have no help for you, man.
I know he's
Hey,
never going to be quiet, so yes. And but I can't do the physical thing, you know. I can't. You know, the thought of his balls is just horrible to me. And at least apparently, yes.
I can't miss. Okay, Big Bad Mama, I'm warning you right now. I can't do the transition from early video missing mod to late video missing mod, so it's going to be an extremely stark transition. Hey everybody, missing mod here. I just wanted to say, I mean, like, why the heck is Claude still all worried about Kent Hovind? Like, come on. Like, could he just worry about literally anything else? Like, Kent stubs his toe, and Claude's like, oh, better go and make a video about that. Better go and show something about Kent stubbing his toe and how we should cut off his donations because of that.
She acts like Kent has stopped doing the behaviors that we've criticized him about.
But he
And all
doesn't.
we're
He
doing is
won't.
picking on some guy that's retired or something.
Yeah, like we just found
Yeah.
him in the phone book and just started relentlessly calling him day in and day out.
Who does that?
Don't you do that?
Do you have someone that does that?
I usually go down to the retirement home here and stand outside and
Oh
just
no!
wait for
So
those
your
fucks
house,
to
right,
come out.
Deviant?
Sorry?
So
My
your
house.
house, right, Deviant?
Yeah.
Yeah, the retirement home. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. No, you're right. You're right.
Oh my
I
gosh.
go downstairs. I take my walker
Oh no!
and I take. Yeah, it's kind of bad because
But
I
you
live quite high up, and
know,
the
you're
stairs.
an lady.
Ayden,
I usually
your
just
old lady
fall
needs to
down.
smack you.
But when I come down, I wait, and then I mock the buggers. There's nothing more
Unmock the
fun than when they
beggars.
come and pick some dead guy up with the ambulance.
You just point and laugh. You're
Where's
just like,
your old lady?
you're old.
Yeah. Oh, it's my bread and butter.
Where's your old lady at, Ayden? We need to make a report.
I'll have you know.
I
Oh,
need to
she's
make a
like
report to the
8 months
complaint
older
division.
than me. She's like 8 months older than me. She's not an old lady. Here, I'll tell
That's
you
got
what.
nothing to do with anything.
She's
I
a
still need to file a
firecracker.
complaint. That's not going to save you. Once I get a hold of your old lady, I'm filing a complaint with HR.
She's right next to
Ooh,
me.
you're in
She's right next to
trouble.
me. Say your piece. Say your piece.
Did you hear the way he's treating this old lady over here?
Fall back in line. Oh wait, I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted. Oh crap.
This is Outcast, the angel.
Oh man, we need an
Make me a
official moment for
sandwich.
your HR department.
Hey guys, sorry, I just had to mute really quick. How's it going?
Oh,
When I say make me a sandwich, I mean now. God, they just never listen. You always have to repeat yourself several times. I've thought about taking the Brett Keane approach. Just be like, Dorn! Eat me up some
No,
mac and cheese, woman. Pour the
wait.
beefaroni in. It's beefaroni night, bitch.
Wit in a cage.
Ayden, do you know that Big Bad Mama had a discussion with Dustin Buck over theology?
Theology, hey?
We had several
it
discussions.
wasn't theology. It wasn't.
It
Well,
was.
I mean, we have kind of broached theology. I'm supposed to research. What was it, Littlefoot or Bigfoot? Littlefoot.
Littlefoot.
What
Littlefoot.
about his older brother Bigfoot?
What's that, Ghost?
But what if Bigfoot turned out to be Steven?
Well, they're
I
about the
mean,
same height.
my money's been there for a long time. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you.
Isn't Steven 7 foot tall?
Yeah, that's kind of why I have my money on it.
Holy crap,
Being
Steven's a Nephilim? Steven is a living Nephilim? Holy crap.
You went there. You went there. You son of a...
I mean, he's talked about the Nephilim all the time, and now I understand why he's so passionate about it. He was there. He was there. He can be the one guy when Ken Ham goes up to him and he's like, "Were you there? Were you there when that happened?" He can be like, "Well, yes, I was, Ken Ham."
What about Claude said, Ayden?
What did Claude say? Steven's current fiance is much younger than him, whereas Ayden is a boy toy. Do you have anything to say to that, babe?
That's right. Your place, Ayden.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'll fall in line. I'm sorry. She told me to clean my room. I should probably do that before the stream ends.
Well, she gave you a spanking?
Well, we sleep in separate beds, didn't you know, Logan? We're engaged, and she's my fiance, but she sleeps in a separate bed. It's totally a thing that's real and happens.
I'm like, Claude, are you there?
I know where Dustin is now. He's near a car. He's near a car, tracking him down right
I'm
now using the
here.
IRS satellite. Beep, 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 boop, beep, boop, boop, boop.
Yes, I am here.
What about Big
I'm
Bad
not
Mama?
affiliated with the IRS.
Big
I
Bad
had to
Mama
bring that disclaimer.
has just
Kent
released a
Hovind is
new.
affiliated with the IRS. Go
Big
ahead,
Bad
sorry.
Mama has just released a new single from our album.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
Christmas
funny.
album. Yeah.
Can we
Yes,
play
Claude
it?
and I
Can we
did a
play it on the show?
collaboration, and you'll have to watch it, please.
Oh, if you
Logan,
want to
can you
share,
play it on the show?
you can share it if you want.
I'm on my phone, so I really doubt I can.
Could Outcast? Could you?
Yeah.
Or
Where is it? Where is it?
Well,
Big
look on
Bad Mama channel.
Yeah. It's funny. Someone has suggested for the third day of Christmas, Owen put me to work. We should.
I saw that. That was funny. That was hilarious.
Because he does different
Goodness.
things on different days, and there's some people have come up with some great alternatives. It's very funny. They've entered into the
Logan,
spirit.
what?
if he makes a song about getting put to work by Kent Hovind, can you do a short where like you put Claude's face on like a Russian gulag worker or something like that? Because that's about the working conditions that we're talking about.
A chain gang in the South in the 1930s.
Yes,
Or what
yes.
is it, the Disney thing?
Are you
A whistle
serious?
while you work. Owen is a jerk. Yeah, whistle while you work.
Kent is like
Deviant,
the
if that's too much trouble, don't worry about it.
Kent is like the warden
No,
at the
I
very
got it.
back,
I got
prodding you
it.
along.
It's called the 12 Days
Shut
of Hovind.
up, children. Oh yeah, I got it
12
waiting.
days of Hovind.
There should be a remake of. They should do a remake
Can you
of the
see it?
Shawshank Redemption. Oh yeah, I can see it.
And have
Can you hear?
Yep.
On the first
Are
day
you
of
serious?
Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me a serpent in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me 2 human beings and a serpent in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 4th day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me the 777 Club, 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, Kent Hovind gave to me 8 lustful thoughts, the 777 Club, 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, Hovind gave to me 9 years in prison, 8 lustful thoughts, the 777 Club, 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, Kent Harvin gave to me 10 new excuses, 9 years in prison, 8 lustful thoughts, the 777 Club, 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, a bird in the pear tree. On the day of Christmas, Kent Harvin gave to me 11 lakes and ponds, 10 new excuses, 9 years in prison, 8 lustful thoughts, the 777 Club, 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and the serpent in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, Kent Harvin gave to me 12 national pornographics, 11 lakes and ponds, 10 new excuses, 9 years in prison, 8 lustful thoughts, the 777 Club, 6 creation days, 5 golden calves, 4 faithful wives, 3 patriarchs, 2 human beings, and a serpent in a pear tree.
Claude, you need to learn how to relax your larynx
Bravo!
and
Thank
Bravo!
you.
everybody hear me?
Thank you,
Hello?
everybody.
Quiet in the back! Hey, heckler! Hey, heckler! Quiet in the back! Yeah, Claude! Woo! Woo!
It's on COD.
That video
You
took a
need
little
to
while to put
relax.
together.
And BBM. Whee!
I fucking
I
lost it at
promise
9 years in prison.
we are so lucky that there weren't 13 or 14 or 15 days of Christmas, aren't we? We're very lucky.
Yeah,
It's only
yeah,
12.
yeah.
Did you like that, Dustin?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, we
Yeah,
cannot
did you
hear
like
you.
that?
Dude, Claude, you need to learn to relax your larynx and use more of your diaphragm when you sing.
Oh, okay. I will try.
Are you gonna give him singing lessons, Dustin?
Well, it sounded like his larynx were like singing at certain points. I'm just trying to, if you're gonna mock, I just don't want you to hurt your throat, I mean, it sounded like
Dustin?
you're gonna have trying to lift those notes, so.
But apart from that,
Yeah.
you loved it, right?
I mean, there
I
were
have-
some
I have
things
to-
in there that didn't need to be, but I do commend you on the accuracy of your statements.
Thank you. I have to strike a balance between relaxing my larynx and not relaxing some other part of me and having an accident. That's the problem. When you get to my age. Yes. What is the other thing called?
If you open up your diaphragm a little bit, it would be better. Just gotta learn.
Yes.
That'll help you relax your larynx.
It's my French accent that causes so many problems.
Either doesn't sound like you're breaking up.
Breaking up. There will probably be a few more. I've seen Big Bad Mama put a lot of new clips up, and the Claude Bose is going to do the same. So it's going to be entertaining few days, I think, in the lead up to Christmas.
Are you Santa?
Santa Balls.
Santa. Are you serious? Santa balls. Chris Quad balls. Chris Quad balls. Are you serious?
Chris Quad
Chris Quad balls.
Jolly old St. Claude balls going down the street.
If Claude
Are you
Balls and Big Bad
serious?
Mama get
Now
together,
we
they
gotta put.
creationist
Now we
crybaby
gotta
balls.
put him in. Now we gotta put him in a Santa suit. Well, looking in a mirror and looking back at Pink Panther. And then we
Is he
have our side
roboting
of the
really
room.
badly for anybody else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was about to jump out to.
We gotta put him in a Santa suit.
There must have been some magic in that little beret we found. For when we put it on his head, he began to sing around. Claude Balls the Snowman.
With the carrot for a nose.
He is stinky and he's also French and he never changes his clothes.
Well, that was a very nice key change on the last note. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Claude, he is a snowman by the name of Claude Balls. He's gonna go to DAL and visit the 11 lakes and ponds. I don't know.
Good King Balls out. Good King Balls went out on the feast of Stephen.
Yes! We need to do a full Christmas album. There's such potential here. Stump was really mad. No, Stump was really frustrated. He was grieving. Ayden having fun on stream. He was singing elevator music. Gotta shut that shit down right now. He can't enjoy himself. I don't know.
The sheer obsession is palpable.
Owen, the red-nosed creationist, and a very tiny.
You serious?
Fuck. This
Dr. Dino had a shiny nose. That's right there.
Jolly old King Gangster Ghost was a happy soul. We could do it. We really could.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too fucking funny.
I'm dreaming of a shite Christmas.
I'm dreaming of a big bad mama.
Where is Big Bad Mama? The Christmas spirit got to him.
Just like the curls in her hair, where the beer cans glisten and the cigarette. Something that rhymes with glisten. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You seen that video where I turned him into a skeleton?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I love your shorts so much, Logan. Whenever they're in my feed, it always brightens up my day a little bit.
Thank you. God, did you?
Can you that goofy ass smile that I have on my face? Stop doing that. I look like a goof.
See, you're feeling this thing that you don't feel on the other show, Dustin. It's called warmth and friendship and like an actual camaraderie between your fellow man. I know it's an unfamiliar feeling because you're not used to it on the other show, but that is in fact the feeling that you're feeling right now.
That was from that one picture you Steven put you up there. You're like in a nurse outfit.
What about this one? Santa creationist baby, hurry down my chimney.
Have a great day.
Not Santa baby, Santa creationist baby. Cry baby.
Santa
We're getting desperate.
Hoban. Got in trouble for structuring, baby. Withdrew $9,900 on a regular basis.
Yeah, Ayden, don't give up your day job.
Look, I'm not. When did I say I was a good singer? When did I say that I was a good singer? All right, I've got impressions. Okay, you know
get a
what?
lot of
I'll
requests.
stick to impressions. I'll stick to impressions. You stick to singing. Okay.
Oh, I've
We'll
heard
stay
this
in our
joke
lane.
somewhere.
He's gonna show up
I
at
get a lot
Johnny
of
Doll and
requests,
start.
but I sing anyway. Oven.
Okay, at least say that I'm a better singer than Ken.
Yes.
Like I actually have I'm not trying, mind you, to actually sing, but even in my fake faux attempt at singing, there's actual range to what I'm singing. It's not I'm not just singing like this. This is singing. Oh yes, I am singing right now.
Yeah. To be fair, Sandra is a very good singer and she can do some beautiful harmonies. Only problem is she's trying to harmonize against someone who can't, and that always sounds a bit interesting. But she's a very good singer, very good.
Yeah, I would say Sandra is a pretty dang good singer. I'd have to agree with you on that.
She is.
Hey, there's a good song about
And he's a
Man,
toy boy. Just a toy boy. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're a choir boy. My goodness. A countertenor. Gangster
he
Ghost.
is. No, he really is. The Gangster Ghost, remember when Adam Lord did a karaoke night?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish he'd do that again. I wish he would do that again. I know, I saw. Thank you, my love. She made me some homemade hot chocolate and some homemade chocolate chip cookies.
For Santa?
I'm not quite that fat yet, Logan. Okay?
Oh.
I'm not quite at a Brett Keane level. I'm trying to get to a Brett Keane level where I can just roll everywhere that I go rather than just walk through conventional means.
Darn.
Darn!
Or I smacked
Gotta make I saw that movie, The Hobbit door, and we're gonna make our fucking trailer doors round like those Hobbit doors so you can accommodate me through them without cutting a hole in every time, you dumb bitch.
Why
Shut
do I
up,
have
Brett.
a feeling?
It's such a stereotype. It's so funny.
Brett, your supply of mac and cheese is here. Shut up, Brett. You know that only keeps me satiated for a week. Now get to cooking.
Oh my God. It's the Brett Keane Hillbilly show.
I really do. I would pay so much money for just a reality show about Brett's life, just his day to day. I really would. Dustin, you think that I'm obsessed with Steven, but you don't even know what my obsession is, dude. I am 10,000 times more obsessed with Brett Keane than I am with Stephen Bolin. Stephen Bolin is a side character in my mind's obsession. He orbits around Brett's giant blubbergumptious sphere.
I mean, Brett is definitely a bigger target. In all honesty,
you can see him from space. Okay, yeah, he is a bigger target. What's that shimmering? He'd be on the International Space Station. What's that shimmering gray blob down there? That's Brett Keane.
I'm sorry. I apologize for that right there.
You know what? I take it back. I hope that Brett watches this show. I hope he watches this show. I hope Brett watches it. And I hope the next time he goes on Steven's show, you're there and he just pretends like he didn't watch you laugh your ass off at all those jokes. Because that's what he'll do. That's what he'll
Well,
do. I know, Brett. I am very confident in my title as a keenologist. And as a certified keenologist, I will tell you that if Brett ever did find out that you were laughing at all these jokes, he won't say anything to you until you do anything to actually cross him. And then he'll make a video about how Dustin Buck fucking he raped an entire orphanage back in 1987. Let me tell you about that guy. I mean, like, he literally massacred 83 million people during the Sudanese genocide. I got a photo right here of the situation. Anyways, besides that, he
I'd have
made
to.
fun of me once, so, I mean, he's a pretty shitty guy.
I mean, besides the fact you picked the exact year I was born. That's an interesting. Like, that's a party trick. I'd have to meet these individuals you speak
well,
of.
well, Dustin Buck, or as I'll call you, Dustin Fuckhead. That's my new nickname for you. Anyways, the only reason why I said you assaulted all those orphans is because your very presence is such an insult that they all felt assaulted in the situation. How about that, buddy? How's that for some pawnage? I pawned your ass,
Actually,
Dustin.
that's actually about the level of argument I would have expected. Brett Keane and I are not really friends. Like that's not how that worked. Like, the way he treated me that one time on the show was horseshit, when all I was trying to do was ask legitimate questions about actual legal things.
Was about
And huh?
remember one time he was on the show, you told me
What?
yeah, you said he was marked.
Who did?
You did that to Brett King before on the show. Well, it was Steven.
Yeah. Yeah, I stand by those statements. I believe he's marked. I believe that someone in his family sold their soul, made a contract with somebody, right? And he was marked for sacrifice. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, like, if you sacrifice Brett Keane, is that, like, the same equivalent as sacrificing, like, 3 regular people if sacrifice goes by body weight?
At least.
Like, you'd have to be at least 3 people.
If you're going by body weight, yeah. I mean, but I don't know that Satan really evaluates things that way. I mean, considering the fact that you're dealing with 3 times the luggage, it might be 1/3 the price of the soul. You never know.
Like, he'll fall to hell, and then he'll break through the ground of hell down to a deeper, even more dark, despairing pit, and then he'll be the lord over that.
Why are you doing this? Why?
Because it's absolutely hilarious. All right, like, I
mean,
I enjoy riffing on Brett even more than I enjoy riffing
that.
on Steven. No, I know. I did riff you. I did rope you into this. I agree 150%. But I found that.
I mean, I don't like the guy, but I'm not that mad at him. Like,
I hear that.
I'm not.
I had a rumor that Brett has to be very careful when Mrs. Keane is stuffing the turkey, because if he's anywhere near there, he risks being mistaken. Although he could like it.
Let me tell you, all right.
You are too savage.
Brett Keane received some stuffing the wrong way the other year. Let's just put it that way in the situation. All right. And then I found out that I liked it in that particular situation. So we do it every year now.
Activity.
Wow. I hope you don't actually tear me up
ready,
like
woman.
this. Like, I can only imagine, like, you have like a certain set of friends over there. You probably rip on me so hard.
Dustin, you ever heard of that movie, Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones?
Hello?
Dustin, are you there? Does anyone hear me?
Yeah, what movie?
Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones. That reminds me of that movie when he said Mark was not Mark. that Brett was marked. Are you there, Dustin?
I think Dustin was raptured.
Are you still there? Ayden, are you still there?
I think both Ayden and Dustin was raptured.
Oh, oh. What about you, Claude? Are you still there?
Yes, I am still here.
Have you ever talked to Brett King?
No, I am blocked from his channel. I was blocked under another name a while ago, and then he's very very thin-skinned. He might have quite a thick body, but his skin is very thin, and he can't stand any difference of opinion, none at all. Yeah.
I heard the time I asked him about Brett, Big Bad Mama, he gets so mad he ended up blocking.
Yes, well,
The boss.
he wants to control what your thoughts are, and he's the only one that's right. And I also get angry with Brett because at one stage he's standing up for this.
You got the Nefco truck. It's going down. Yeah, boss.
Dustin is back, I think, is he?
Oh, you want me on this side? Okay. That's kind of what I was wondering. I don't know what he's doing.
Who is he still? Yeah.
Maybe. No, the node's down, so he's not moving yet.
It's me, Dusty, Outcast, and this guy named Carl.
Dusty the Snowman. Da-la-da-da-da-dee.
Oh no, Ayden.
God damn it! I've been going to this Chinese buffet for 37 years, and they're not even going to take my food stamps as payment. Not even going to take my food stamps as payment in this situation. Well, I'm never coming back here again until next week. That's right. That's right. Otherwise, we're going to get a bit of overstuffing in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
First time I met Ayden, I always thought he was 14.
Yeah, well, he has the brain capacity of a fucking 14-year-old, let me tell you that. This fucking guy comes on my show, he's like, hey, Brett, how about God being bullshit? And I'm like, Ayden, why do you think God's bullshit? And he just said, I think he's bullshit because I'm a piece of garbage and I hate everything about God because I'm a piece of shit. And I said, well, Ayden, you don't have to think of yourself that way. You're actually a pretty intelligent guy in the situation. And he said, no, I'm not, Brett. I'm actually a piece of garbage. And let me tell you why. It's because I took advantage of you in the situation. He really said that, ladies and gentlemen.
I can barely hear you, Dustin. You sound like you're communicating from the moon right now.
Yeah.
He is the super predator. Well, he might be.
Dustin is the super predator?
Yeah.
That's scary.
God.
Yes.
Yeah, that debate I put up there with Michael Jones versus him. I forgot the name of the moderator. I think it might have been James, but yeah, not debate. Does Michael Jones had with candidates? Yeah, it was really crazy. What do you think of it?
Well, Michael Jones seems to be a very fair moderator. You know, that's
No.
the only I noticed totally different from Dummy from Standing from Truth. You know,
Michael Jones is the
Dummy
guy.
is horrible.
The guy, the moderator. I think his name is James.
All right. Well, whoever he was he was much better than Dummy from Standing for Whatever. For Ruth, Standing for Ruth, you know.
That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. I think that Donnie as a person is reasonably intelligent. Like, I've heard him talk about genes and gene theory and stuff like that, and he sounds like a reasonably intelligent person. The problem is that he's been overshadowed by Kent, and everybody just thinks of him as, oh, he's just Kent Slacky, basically.
But he is. He's kind of
He
made himself
demonstrates
that.
time after time. Yeah.
I mean,
You're right. He put
What's the
himself
matter?
into that position. I just think it's a tragedy because I think if he stood on the merits of his own arguments and his own points, he'd actually be seen to be.
It's open for a small day.
I agree. He
or
doesn't.
Not enough hours.
He doesn't seem like a moron in that way. But for whatever reason, he's completely sold out to Ken. And that's what happens. Then people
Yeah,
will
so
only-
you see when Kent will say next topic, and he jumps to attention, and if anybody ever gets Kent on the ropes with something, dummy is it, or Donnie? Same thing.
Shut him off, Donnie. Shut him off.
He moves in to rescue him time after time.
Yeah,
And so do the people who are channel moderators are just appalling. They join
Merry
in on
Christmas,
the side
by
of
the
the
way.
Kent.
Not only that, but sometimes Donnie won't cue into when Kent needs rescuing, so Kent will overtly just go, Donnie, save me! Cut him off! Cut him off, Donnie! That's enough, alright? I need you to step in and be my little lackey here, make sure this debate goes the way I want it to.
I know.
Get who's here.
Oh gosh. There's gonna be a lot of screaming.
Cretinous.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Oh!
What
Hi!
a deep voice for a baby.
You all ever seen a dog as big as Texas?
That's kind of creepy.
I've never seen a dog as big as
Wonder
Texas.
what goes on in this house.
You're right.
Well, that just proves that evolution is a hoax.
You know, I never thought of it that way. I really... Yeah, you're right. I mean, a dog not being the size of Texas does counteract all of that evidence that we have. You're right.
For sure.
Right. Do you have good questions? Yes, Ken.
There's 400 types of squirrels, but it's still a squirrel. you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Of Stump to your voice. Stump creationist crybaby.
Oh, Stump's coming into the community now, huh? I find that to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, the cardinal crybaby.
The cardinal crybaby. You see, this is the
nice
second.
to see you, Mr. Balls.
This is the second person after Redeemed and Saved that came on the show just trying to ask legitimate questions, and here Claude is yet again. He can't actually address anything that creationist crybaby is saying. He's just, oh, you have a deep voice. Oh yes, that is an argument in France. Oh yes.
Typical evolutionist.
Honestly.
Carnal mind.
I could debate you with one arm tied behind my back, Claude.
Crybaby, you've been seen on one or two of the creationist channels lately.
Yeah, I like that Stephen Bolin. I really like the cut of his jib.
which is more. You've obviously seen a bit more than his fiance has. Then
the cut of his jib.
Got the nicest jib in town.
Why are you going there? Why? What? He doesn't have tassels. What are you trying? Are you trying to produce a mental image for me? Is that what's going on here?
Are you an evolutionist, sir?
Yeah, Dustin.
No.
Yeah. Are you an evolutionist, also known as a fucking idiot?
No, I'm not an evolutionist.
Well,
have you seen a dog give birth to a non-dog?
Answer
Well,
that.
I've seen
Answer the
a
question.
chihuahua give birth to a rat.
I am.
So
I'm kind of the proof of that.
What's that?
I'm kind of the
I've
proof
seen a
of
chihuahua
dogs
give birth to a rat.
to non-dogs. I mean,
Really?
yeah, they had to
Have you seen a
fornicate with
Kent
my
give
poor mother
birth to a
first, but
non-Kent? Have you seen a Kent give birth to a non-Kent? You know, because and you don't have
I hope you haven't seen Kent give birth to nothing.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Very good. Now I lost my train of thought.
The geologic column's nonsense. Where'd the top layer come from? Outer space?
Exactly. Well, you know what?
Answer me that.
You know what Deviant's probably gonna say, because she believes in that hokey dokey Egypt nonsense. She probably gonna be like, "Oh, we got ourselves a god what does have a bird for a head. That's a creature that gave birth to a non-human being right there. That's evidence for what we're saying, because they built the pyramid and whatnot."
I've seen the watermarks on the Sphinx that prove there was a global flood.
Now you shut your mouth.
I mean, can you point to one continental piece of land that we call land crust that hasn't been underwater at one point or another?
No, I can't. There was actually a period in Earth's history where it was, in fact, entirely submerged by water. That's correct. The thing is, though, is that it didn't happen like 3,000 years ago. That's really the fundamental difference.
On the Earth while it was in that stage.
I mean,
so
I think that there was a point on Earth where it rained for like 100,000 years, even.
It did, yes, that's correct. It did.
Yeah.
Acid rain, baby.
No, I don't think it was acid rain. I think it was just plain old rain. I mean, as far as like normal rain would be considered when you have drops coming down the size of Volkswagens, but that's a subtle difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a PBS Eons video. Logan, I can't play the PBS Eons video on this, otherwise Logan's gonna get flagged. It's a really good video on the time of rain for 2 million years.
Yeah.
But I can't play it because YouTube is anti-expression.
I mean, I know about all this stuff. I have a hard time believing it. It's just, you guys claim that you have all this observational evidence, but I mean, when I look into it, there's not much there, right? They still use water witching to find oil wells today. That's an actual thing.
So you're saying I'm not a witch? Is that
what?
Is that what you're bringing to the table now? I'm kind of offended.
No.
I think you're late.
Wait, how did you end up with that conclusion? That's got nothing to do with anything.
Time is their god, and evolution is their religion.
They
I actually have a shrine to Father Time.
If someone is a witch, right?
Who, me? Yeah, I know how to tell if someone's a witch.
Yeah, good.
Why?
You know how you tell if they're not a witch? You come to the conclusion that witchcraft is bullshit and that there's never been an actual witch in all of human history.
Right.
No, you come to the conclusion that the magic in witchcraft is bullshit. But you come to realize that tools like manipulation, deception, feeding to the individual's ego.
Don't do this,
these are all tools.
Don't do this,
These are
Steven.
all
Manipulation
tools
is a form of witchcraft.
Kent's a witch.
It is.
It's not, though. That's just manipulation. It's not witchcraft. It's just manipulation.
It's psychology.
Dude.
I'm pretty stoned right now.
Look.
Hell yes. Alright, baby. Hold on. I'm going to join you. Hold on.
If you believe, right, in something like, say, for example, I was to convince you that gravity wasn't a thing, and you were to plummet to your death, right? I mean, what difference does it make to the individual's mind whether or not it's magic that's making them fall?
What?
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying.
Magic.
No, he's trying to make an illustrative
Magical.
example.
Well, I'm trying. Well, yeah,
what you mean is,
you nailed it there. But
what you mean is that you use another word, which is in this case witch, to describe something that we already have words for. So using the word witch instead of the words we already have only adds confusion, really.
Well,
no?
I mean, it also adds a spiritual connotation that you said that
But
there's
if
no
there
magic
is no
to it.
yeah, right. But then you have to differentiate. Okay, is this a narcissistic psychopath manipulator, or is it one who uses some kind of spiritual witchcraft magic? And then
But let
you're
me
back
just
to
ask
you.
let me ask you, Deviant.
Can
which
you
one is-
depict?
Go ahead, Dustin.
Can you depict a difference? Look, when it comes to this kind of stuff, this is my wheelhouse. Okay, I know all about this stuff. So when you're trying to tell me that there's a difference between some like evil dark lord sorcerer conjuring up like an evil potion in his room and some douchebag boyfriend who's concocting some lie to make up for something that he made, some slight or some unfortunate series of events that he now has to explain for. Can you tell me what the actual difference is?
The difference is that in one case, it's something real that we should all be aware of is out there. We should know how the victims are, what's the word? Impacted by their actions. We should learn how to look out for these people because they can be extremely dangerous, not just to individuals, but to entire societies. The other stuff, that's fairy tale, that's not real, that does not exist. So that's the difference I would make.
I wouldn't even go as far as saying that it's a fairy tale. I think the biggest difference is tangibility. That's the biggest difference. Is when you have, well, hold on, Dustin. When you have one person sitting in a room and they're brewing up a potion, right? They're brewing up this evil, dark, enchanted potion. You can't demonstrate. There's never been a person that's been able to brew a potion that you can demonstrate in a laboratory setting has some sort of, magical effects upon somebody.
Yeah,
there's never been a potion that's been able to make somebody grow.
That's what I mean. I'm not as good with words.
No. Okay, so look, the reality is one of the other forms of witchcraft is pharmaca, the ability to make medicine. Okay, that's one of the other things is they call them witch doctors. Okay, no. So you're sitting there. When science and magic broach the same field, right? You guys play it off like, oh, there's no such thing. But the reality is, and I'm going to say this again as my prime example, they still use water witching today to find oil wells.
What do you mean by water
That is a real thing.
What do you mean by water witching?
Where you use dowsing rods.
Yeah.
So
dowsing rods to find.
When what we once didn't understand becomes understandable because of our knowledge expanding and we're being able to test it in a scientific environment, blah, 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 measure things, blah, 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 blah.
No. Look, if you're gonna say that a lack of knowledge does not. Okay.
Magic,
okay, I'll listen.
Magic is what we can't describe to natural forces, for instance. Magic is something that has an effect, even though there shouldn't be one, that defies the natural order of things. So when we then realize that, no, this doesn't actually defy the natural order of things, then it's no longer magic. And to put in magic in there, I mean, take a car or a phone. What we are doing right now, if we were sent back in time 150 years. This would be magic. Is it magic? No, it's fucking technology. But to them it would be, because they wouldn't understand it. So
see, there's the issue though. Like any technology sufficient enough can be considered.
Is indistinguishable
I
from
forget the
magic.
damn quote.
Any technology
Yes,
which is sufficiently advanced becomes indistinguishable from magic.
So, like when you're coming at it from that argument, it's not our understanding of something that eliminates the magic, because it's not the ignorance of something that proves it. So if you can't falsify an argument by proof of logic, then you can't logic your way back into the argument. It doesn't work like that.
Well, when we're talking about indistinguishable from magic, though, Dustin, that is what's being talked about in that quote. It's perception. It's not the reality. Somebody perceives that to be magic the same way an Aztec priest would perceive an arquebus to be magic. Because we have this stick. They have this stick that's able to shoot fire from it, and it makes this giant loud noise, and whatever it shoots at drops to the ground dead. That's magic to them because they don't have a frame of reference. But to us, it's very easily explained. Like Dustin, and I wouldn't be able to answer. Hold on. I wouldn't be able to answer this if you asked me, so I just want to preface it with that. But off the top of your head, Dustin, explain electricity to me and how it works.
Hello?
Oh, do you want your sandwich? They're making them. Yeah. Ever since that.
Yeah, so the only point I'm trying to illustrate. Can you hear us, by the way, Dustin? Are you there?
He's Googling it.
Well, the point that I'm making, though, is like offhand was my point, is just to explain electricity. The best I could personally do to explain electricity would be to get a charge, to be able to put a electrical charge through an electromagnet, which is a system of rotating magnets rotating within a certain resonance sequence. Like, that is how you're able to produce an electrical current. And that's an extremely, like, a textbook would laugh at me for that kind of explanation, because it's overly simplified. But that's my point, is this thing, this resource, electricity, that underpins our entire society. The average person on the street would not be able to explain to you how it works. Doesn't mean that it's magic.
Exactly. And it runs the risk of becoming dangerous when you conflate pharmacology and witchcraft.
Well, he was talking about witch doctors, and I wanted to comment on that because I found that interesting. He left, by the way. I'm not sure if I hope he comes back.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to continue this discussion, but the point I was going to make was witch doctors were primarily an institution in societies that did not have standardized forms of writing. Like, I'm not saying they weren't there at all in places like medieval Europe, but they were very fringe compared to actual doctors that were tenured at universities and things like that. My point being, when you don't have a society that is very heavily literate, the vast majority of people are illiterate like they were for the vast majority of human history, the best way of preserving information and knowledge at that point is through ritual.
Yeah.
That's how the church did it for the vast majority of its history. You'll notice that really Protestantism and people saying we're going to go and do our own thing and we're going to go and be our own way coincides, I'm sure it's been pointed out to you before, with the advent of the printing press. And the reason for that is because before that point, the best way to preserve the traditions of the church and to preserve the canons of the church was through ritual. It was through mass or the divine liturgy, and it was through these specific church services and celebrations at specific times of the year. Ritual is a very natural way for the human mind to not only to retain that information yourself, but to easily pass it down to someone else, there's just something, and I wouldn't be able to explain it to you because I'm not a psychologist, but there's something about the form and function of a ritual that imparts that knowledge upon a human mind better.
It has to do with interconnecting memory with, because our muscle memory is much better, much more developed than our like cognitive memory.
Mm.
So when you, and also the more types of memory you interweave into one, the deeper the knowledge will permeate the brain, or whatever you should say. But the muscle memory is muscle and smell are the most developed forms of memory in humans. So when you do these rituals that incorporates moving your body in some way, I don't mean like dancing or anything, but could be.
It implants it deeper within the mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, it's why oral tradition was something that was done in a public setting more often than it was just with two people talking to each other, because when you've got a big amphitheater full of people there to listen to an orator recount something like the epics of the Iliad or something like that, there's an interconnection there where you're there with your peers. And I think that's something a lot of people really miss out on in the context is they think that the Iliad was this like it was an oral tradition, but they think of it almost like Homer himself is sitting across from you at a table and is interpersonally telling you that tale, because that's what a reader associates with the book. I am personally reading this book. I'm having an interpersonal experience with this, and no one else is having that experience. But in an oral society, it's much more interconnected. If you're listening to someone recount the Iliad, you're next to your friend and you're nudging him and you're talking to him about it and you're making commentary about it, and you're talking to the orator potentially after the actual oration has ended.
And there is often music and that sort of thing involved.
Yeah. Theater that accompanies it. Yeah, you're right. And those things, you hit the nail on the head, Faith, or Deviant, sorry. I saw Faithful to Jesus pop up in the comments. My brain I did a short circuit. But no, you really hit the nail on the head as far as why rituals are better at retaining knowledge over time, because like over the vast majority of human history, we were hunter-gatherers. We were reliant on muscle memory as far as this is how you take this animal down. These are the berries that you collect if you don't want to die. Those sorts of things get ingrained into us because for 99% of our history, that was all that we knew. So, sorry, Ghost, I have to go now. Great show and lots of fun. Well, good to see you, Claude. I don't know if you're still listening, but Faithful, if Claude is left now, that opens the floor to you if you want to join.
I had a peyote ritual one time down in Mexico with a shaman. And you ain't, you want to talk about far out.
I bet.
Thank you for coming on, Ayden.
Of course. You want to talk about stoned earlier, creationist crybaby. You know what these evolutionists think? They're talking about this. Talking about this stoned ape theory. Oh, some monkey out in the jungle found some psilocybin mushroom and it just made him think entirely different. Sounds like the words of some hippy dippy faggot to me.
Wow.
Far out.
All you got's fossils in dirt, and you don't know if any of them had children.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, you all take care of yourselves.
All right, you have fun. You have fun doing your peyote, creationist crybaby. I hope you enjoy yourself. God, I could use some peyote right now. I really could. That'd be awesome.
Right now.
Right now, I mean, like, sure, I'm gonna work in like an hour or two, and I would be way too messed up to even comprehend the fact that I have a job, let alone the fact
Yeah.
that I'm a human being and I'm alive. But
Yeah.
I think I could do it. I think I could work a shift, and I'd be really low key about it, and everyone would just be like, "Oh, hey, Ayden, how's it going?"
That's good.
And I'd just be
You shouldn't just shoot yourself down right off. Why not?
exactly like there's all these quitters out there. I shouldn't get drunk before I go to work, you know? I shouldn't take a bunch of psilocybin mushrooms before I operate heavy machinery. But how do you know that something bad is going to happen really? Like
Exactly.
just pessimistic thing. Oh, I'm incapable of doing it. Yeah, that's quitter talk. Yeah, it's me. With the power of Jesus Christ, anything is possible.
Oh my goodness.
Anything is possible. So I think that these doubters and these mockers, quite frankly, just need to shut it. Yeah, yes, mockers. They are mockers. Dustin, are you still alive, or are you in fact 6 feet under at this point? Have the anti-Christian death squads finally gotten to you, buddy? Because I've heard some Southerners, especially when Obama was in power. Oh my gosh, when Obama was president, I literally heard one of these like Southern, dumpty radio types on the radio talking about how Obama's gonna get together a coalition of Mexicans and black people, and they're gonna roam the countryside, and they're gonna rape, and they're gonna murder, and they're gonna pillage, and they're gonna keep Obama in power. Never happened. Never happened for some reason. I just crazy how that just never materialized in any way, shape, or form. It's just
And how interesting that no one remembers it afterwards.
I know. Like the 2013 rape and pillage of the United States was a really tragic event, and it wiped out 98% of the population. But the remaining 2% are actually legally obligated not to talk about it. So I'm probably going to get hauled away and killed myself very shortly after the stream.
I would count on it if I were you.
Yeah.
Maybe leave
I'm really
some
sorry.
breadcrumbs if you have it in your pocket.
I mean, if I beg the Gestapo officer before he kills me, he might be generous enough to just grant me a quick death and just shoot me. But otherwise, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Dustin go.
Well, I told you, Dustin got taken away by the anti-Christian death squads that were roaming America that were foretold because of Obama. Obama! He gonna do it!
Obama!
He's gonna be Obama! I feel like they have such an easy time now, the American right, because they used to have to actually like criticize things that Obama did, and like they actually had to like talk about Obama's foreign policy and how he interacted with foreign diplomats and stuff, and now all they have to do is just go, hey, Joe Biden old. He old. He don't even know what's going on. And they're right. That's the worst part, is they're right about all of it.
Sure, but also these are the same people that voted for Trump, who is older than Biden.
I don't know.
And
I think Trump is 1 year younger than Biden.
No.
Hold on. I'll look it
up. Check it.
So Trump is 77.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is 81.
What?
Okay, so there's a 4-year difference. Yeah, there's a 4-year difference between Donald and Joe.
I was 100% certain that Trump was like a year or two older.
God,
that memory has to go.
Joe Biden is literally old enough that he might remember, well, before he, all his faculties went away, he might have memories of like a World War II America. That's fucking insane. And he's the president.
He was born then, if he's 81, so he was born 42. No,
yeah, so he'd be like 3. He would be like 3 when the war ended. That's old enough to form memories. Yeah. That is old enough to form permanent memories. That is scary. Absolutely. That's a scary thought. That the current most powerful person on the planet is old enough now that they can remember. They can remember when them Japs finally got murderized by the atomic bomb. They did. Like, holy crap! He's in charge of everything.
Ayden. You there?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's up?
later on, I'm going to have a show with Brother Pike.
Yeah, I heard you're gonna have a teaching. I work at 5, and I think that's 7 p.m. EST.
Oh.
So I don't know when is he having his show?
7 p.m.
Of course he's having it at 7. Why would it be before 7 o'clock? I mean, like, he could do it before I do work that I didn't tell him about and that he didn't schedule for in any way, shape, or form. But no.
Why doesn't the world conform to your needs?
Well, I mean, that's what Christians always say. Like, they're always like, society is really stinky right now because people are like, wow, trans people are actually people and they're not this subhuman trash that needs to get put into death camps. It's like, what's going on? It's like, aren't you guys
We're persecuted.
Yeah, we're persecuted. Aren't you guys literally the people who were told by your Messiah, like, this world and everything that we're currently inhabit, that's all bullshit, and you don't need to worry about any of that, and it's the afterlife that you need to worry about? Then why are you so obsessed with changing the world? Like, why do you want the here and now to conform to everything that you want if all of this is just bullshit?
I think it has to do something with dissonance.
Yeah, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
were you Lupin? I don't know if you were in the community or if you'd come back yet, but Lupin, in one of the last interactions I ever had with him, he was talking about that. He was like, I think Ayden's using pretty bad cognitive dissonance right now. And I was like, Lupin, can you please explain to me what cognitive dissonance is? And he refused, for 3 or 4 minutes straight. He just refused to give any sort of definition. And I was like, no, I need you to give me a definition of what cognitive dissonance is. And he's like, okay, fine. It's when you believe one thing and the truth is a different thing. So, like, you believe that the sky is yellow, but then the sky is actually blue. I knew that he didn't know what the definition was because he accused me of having cognitive dissonance with something Big Bad Mama said. It's like, you can't have cognitive dissonance with what somebody else said, you fucking invalid. So just to add, just to put the cherry on top of everything, he did a stream where he responded to that interaction because I guess he was just so fucking embarrassed on what happened. And I shit you not, we get to the part where he accuses me of cognitive dissonance, and then he starts skipping it over. He's like, we don't need to watch this. There's nothing worthwhile in here. And he just skips it over.
Maybe shouldn't have done that stream.
Yeah, like, you don't... Come on, man. It's like rule 1 of debating on the internet. Don't throw out terms that you don't know what they mean, dude.
Right.
Like, you don't do that. That is literally you're handing me the katana that I'm going to use to commit seppuku on you at that point. Like, I just, here you go. Just stick it right in, and then your argument's done.
Why put extra spotlight on it afterwards?
Oh, it was because, long story short, he was going to go on a Missing Mod show that she was doing because we were reviewing an older clip on Steven's show. Not even to get into drama or anything, we were just kind of pining for the days when Steven actually allowed free thought on his channel. And actually allowed different opinions on his channel. So we were just kind of reminiscing about that, and we were playing an old clip. And Lupin was just losing his mind in the side chat. He's like, hey, you guys just talk about nothing but drama? Just here to talk about nothing but drama? You're just here to start problems? And he's like, let me in the show. I'm waiting in the back room. And Missing Mod's like, you know what? You've excluded people like Ayden from the show all the time. You've not allowed atheists on the show all the time, and you've muted them, and you've censored them. You're going to get a taste of your own medicine, Lupin. You're not allowed on the show. And he just lost his shit. That's why he made that stream where he was commentating on it, and then he conveniently skipped over that one part. Because he was so butthurt over the fact that he wasn't allowed in the one show.
Poor guy.
I know. They always act like I'm such a child. It's like, I'm pretty sure I've never gotten so butthurt about not being allowed on their shows that I make my own show. To just sit there and be like, no bunch of bullshit, I got kicked off that show, right, guys? Like, 2 people like it, one of them are him. Like, wow, good job.
Talk about he was going to address Mrs. Maud and her yang.
Oh yeah, Logan. I've never seen Logan laugh harder in my entire life. Logan lost his mind because Lupin made a short about doing the stream before he made the stream where he skipped over him making an ass of himself. He made a little short on his channel where he's like, I'm going to do a show later on where I'm going to address Missing Mud and her yang. He meant to say gang, but he literally just, I guess he flubbed it and said yang. And Logan just lost his goddamn mind over it. It was great.
Logan losing his mind is the best.
I just want to say, now that Ayden's allowed to cuss on the show, he's just cussing left, right, and center. Every 2 seconds, he just fucking cusses on the show all the goddamn time. And I just gotta say, that's fucking bullshit, honestly. I think that is bullshit carnal fucking mind. Better go take a hike and, maybe take a long walk off a short fucking pier. That's what I think. That's one of my favorite things to say to somebody when you're upset with them. Go take a long walk off a short pier. There's just something so poetic about it.
I like the idea of headlights eating the brain. That's sort of it's a double insult. First, you say they have headlights.
And then they're also eating their brain.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I imagine the Swedes have some pretty good take a long walk off a short pier equivalents.
Long walk off a short pier.
That's right. Ayden.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna head off at this point. I've got to take care of a couple things here and get my affairs in order before I gotta go to work. So.
Yeah, me too. I have to call my brother. I have really I pooped the bed. I didn't, but kind of.
Fair enough. Well, it was good talking with you guys. What were you gonna say, Logan?
You guys could come back later. Brother Pike's having a show.
Yeah, well, I'm working later on, but I'll try to be in the chat for sure.
Yeah, he's Brother Pike.
Brother Pike. That's right.
Brother.
Do that. I want you to say Brother Pike in that accent. Brother Pike. You gotta say the Pike. Brother Pike. There we go. Yes. Oh my goodness. See, we were talking about Claude getting coached by Dustin for saying, I've got to be your impressions coach. I've got to coach you.
Please. Please, yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, you got some pretty good numbers, Logan. You got 5 people watching right now, 6 liking it. Everybody that's watching right now, if you haven't already, please like the stream. I mean, this was a good show, people. Come on, everyone that's watching this was a good fucking show.
Come on.
Yeah. If we don't get 10 likes on this video, then we're never gonna make another one again. Never gonna happen. I have no authority to say that because it's not my channel, and I'm literally just the friend of the person running it. But yeah,
Logan will have to sell it to Kent.
Oh, he'll sell it to Steven. They'll merge it into Proverbs, guys.
Yeah.
You should sell yourself, sell your soul, Logan. Your soul's worth a bit of money. All right, this will probably be the part that gets clipped out of context, by the way. But yeah. Logan, your soul, come on, man. That's worth some money. I know it is. You know it is. So just go to Steven, be like, $500, and maybe I'll say and do whatever you need me to.
No, don't do it.
He doesn't have the money. It's okay. He won't actually be able to, so. And besides, Logan's soul's worth a measure more than $500 anyway.
Exactly.
Like $522. No, I'm just kidding.
Now you're just mean.
Yeah, I am.
Shame on you.
I'm not a nice person. I don't know how many times I need to say this to people.
I know, but you're too far away. I can't give you a slap.
I need to be more rude in my interactions because I seem to hover in this like area where people get this impression that I'm a nice person, and then they'll hear me in like this stream and they'll be like, "Harumph! I cannot believe that Ayden Linden would go off and say such a thing. My goodness!" It's like, shut the fuck up. All right, I'll do what I want. I'm my own person. Right. That's what Dustin he was talking about, like, Steven, you could act a certain way around Steven, but you just don't do it. Part of my reaction
no,
to
why
that,
would you?
well, yeah, first what I said about the whole give and take thing, that is true.
Yeah,
But
sure.
to pull a Dustin, the other side of the equation would be the fact that he's not somebody that's worth conforming to in any way, shape, or form, because nobody is. That was my point.
Exactly.
Nobody
No
is
one.
worth changing who you are in order to satisfy them. They should be satisfied with who you are as a person, and if they're not, then that's not your problem.
Yeah, and oh my goodness.
And that's the thing that Logan, I'm really grateful that he's learned this, because Steven repeatedly tried putting Logan in this position of either you toe the line and do what I want, or you're not allowed on my show.
Mm-hmm.
Basically pressuring him, saying, okay, well, yeah, you like this community, but you're not allowed to be in it anymore at all unless you do this certain thing. And it's not even true. That's the worst part, is that he demonstrates that that's not true, because Logan will be his own person and do his own thing, and he'll still invite him on his show.
Yeah.
So it's not even like Steven's taking a principled stand there. He's just trying to push him into being more like how he wants him to be.
But, I mean, let's be real. Steven is just a shitty person.
I mean, he certainly has some less than desirable aspects. I wasn't lying earlier when I said that he's got this weird fucked up charm, though. He really does. There's this part of him that's just
sure. Like all
I want to ruffle his hair.
douchebags and assholes. Sorry. Not sorry. Sorry. I use language ladies shouldn't use.
Oh, Ayden. I seen on Max, HBO Max, they call it. I found that movie Dune on there. The original.
Is it on there?
Yeah, the original.
Oh, the 1984 Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, read the book before you watch that, unless you just want to be confused.
Okay.
Because I watched that one before the modern one with Brianna, and I basically had to stop at every 10 or 20 minutes and explain to her what was happening.
True story. It's very confusing if you haven't read the book.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So don't read the book.
What movie on there called Pink Panther? That's based on Claude.
That's based on Claude, obviously.
That's a new video about
True story. Ugh.
About tax crimes.
Oh, right.
That song, man, that fucking song. I lost it at 9 years in prison. That was so great. Oh, man. All right. Brianna came in here to tell me that I've actually got to go, though, so I'll talk to you later, guys.
Have a good and safe day.
Have a nice day.
Great show,
Take
Logan.
care.
Thanks,
care,
Devian.
everyone.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you for coming on, Mrs. Outcast.
Thank you, Logan. I'll try to be on later too if I'm awake. I think I will be.
Okay, but you're an angel lady.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You're
you, Logan. You're sweet.
Thank you. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.